Hi, friends and victims of daylight savings time. Welcome to Nature Check's Arda Campaign, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science.
You got it out.
Hi, I'm Sheryl. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the dungeon master for the Arda Campaign. I'm also a PhD candidate studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago and currently gearing up for field season. How does this happen? Why do the seasons go around? When I'm not doing research, I'm also a science communicator and the host of the Roving Naturalist on YouTube. And my announcements are longer this week. I'm super excited to announce two new things. First, I am now a producer for the First Watch, and am helping them work on a new D&D miniseries and a new campaign coming soon on YouTube. So stay tuned for all of that. The first episode of the miniseries airs not this coming Tuesday, but next week on Tuesday night, I think, is when it's dropping. So the miniseries is like American Western themed, so it's going to be a good time. And then the campaign that's coming after that is going to be super great. So yeah, stay tuned for all those things. And secondly, Nancy and I have been scheming for a few months and building a super cool event that we're finally able to talk about, which is a D&D retreat in the cloud forest of Ecuador. So stay tuned. We've been sharing some details about that in the Discord, and eventually we'll be sharing more about it on social media. But you, as our loyal and beloved audience, get to hear about it first. Speaking of which, next, there's Nancy.
Hi, I'm the victim from daylight savings time because we don't do it on the equator where there's equal parts day and night all the time. So y'all change and I just have to figure it out. Anyway, it's fine. No judgment. Hi, my name is Nancy. I'm an entomologist. I'm a little unhinged because I just got back from tour last night after being awake from 5 a.m. and went to bed at 11 p.m. So I live in Ecuador. I'm an entomologist, which means that I study insects and I drag your butt around the jungles of Ecuador to look at all the cool bugs. And in our beautiful world that Sheryl has created, I play Kay, an Aasimar who shoots stuff with her bow and has blue skin, sort of. Freckles, at least. And our pronouns are she, her.
Stellar. Next, there's Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I'm a plant health specialist, horticulturalist, entomologist. So basically, I do a lot of stuff with plants and things that affect their health. I currently do that in the Pennsylvania medical marijuana industry. Before that, I did it in public gardens and conservatories. And in our game, I play Fletcher, the human wizard, and we both use he, him, his pronouns.
Then there's Peter.
Peter. Here, I play Cedric, the dwarven cleric. We both use he, him pronouns. In real life, I do horticultural research at a university in North Carolina, trying to make small farms more profitable for the people who grow your food.
Sweet. And then there's Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy, she, her. I'm a science enthusiast and play an Andorian engineer over on the Heroes of Awesome Constellation on the Weirdlings Twitch and YouTube channels. Here, I'm playing Nautia, the water mephit druid, also she, her.
That's the gang. You all out there in audience land know that you can hang out with us in the chat. You can use your channel points to help the PCs or create chaos. And you can check the reference section down below for the social media handles for the entire Nature Check cast, as well as a link to our Discord and our updated streaming schedule. You also know that you can find the video recordings of our games on our YouTube channel and the audio versions on all podcast platforms. Peter, are you going to survive?
Yeah, I probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. With our announcements out of the way, I'm gonna roll the intro. We'll be back in a sec. Bye. They weren't ready, but here we are back again anyway.
We're here.
We're here. Oh my goodness. It's just,
Oh dear.
another day.
Great.
I closed the tab. I'm bad at this. Tab is back open again. It's the early
first time, you guys.
early morning in the Cloud Forest pajamas. Her going bird watching pajamas, as I learned when I was there.
Those are great.
Cozy.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's cold in the morning in the Cloud Forest. Okay, here we go. We're in the thing now. After meeting Trinket in the little shop that is definitely not a haunted house, you all promised to capture some fireflies for her, and in return, she would identify as many of your magic items as possible. You tried finding fireflies in several of the parks within the city of New Seychester, but quickly realized that it's much harder to find those small insects in an urban environment. Eventually, you ventured out into the grasslands to the west of the city. Nope. East of the city, wow, where you were more successful in finding fireflies, but where you were also discovered by a swarm of blood-sucking, flying, thorny flowers. You fled from the flowers and returned, quite a bit the worse for wear, to the marked bird for the evening. The next morning, while Fletcher stayed in bed to recover, the rest of you journeyed first to the pier, where Nautia had a healing bath in the ocean, and then back to Eye of Newt. You gave Trinket the fireflies, and while she spent several hours identifying your magic items, you worked on cleaning and organizing her shop, which was very nice of you. We had some ADHD therapy before going to bed for the night. It is now morning on Hiram, the second day of Pelaran. But before we get to what your characters are choosing to do today, we are overdue for a science conversation about fireflies.
Yay!
Hey, let me go get my book. BRB.
Go get the book. We're going to talk about fireflies, lightning bugs.
Lightning bugs. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I grew up calling them lightning bugs.
Hello, X-Goose! Thank you for coming back again. We're happy to see you and the Raiders. Welcome, welcome. You joined at just the right time. We're going to drop some science about beetles with butts that glow. In the group Lamperti. Spoilers.
I was just gonna say
Spoilers.
we're talking about the fact that they're not flies.
Ah, okay. Ooh,
Mhm.
silent
And-
sparks.
Ooh.
And if we're talking about beetles that glow, you don't have to only talk about fireflies either.
We can go all those places.
Everybody's got sparkly butts. You get a sparkly butt. You get a sparkly butt.
All right, so where do you want to start? The fact that they're beetles and not flies? Or someplace else?
Spark beetles.
I mean, I feel like that's the whole bit on that, right?
Okay.
That they're beetles,
Yeah.
right? That
Like lightning bug, they're not technically a bug, which refers to the hemiptera or true bugs. And fireflies, they're not flies, they're beetles. But in the end, who really cares?
Mhm.
Just call them whatever.
Yeah, all of those
Spark
categories are
beetles.
categories made up by us. However, if you know anything about common naming conventions for insects, then you would know that they're not flies because firefly is one word. And when it's a true fly, the fly part of the name is separate from the other parts of the name, which is why like butterfly is one word because they're also not
That only
flies.
works in English.
Right.
She
Yes.
says that she cries in Spanish.
Sorry.
and really it only works in American English because
Sure.
it is a more codified kind of rule guideline even in American English. But yeah, like some more examples of like would be horse flies. It's two words, are flies. Bed bugs, 2 words. Those are actually bugs. Stink bugs are actually bugs. But like dragonfly, neither a dragon nor a fly. Right?
Disappointingly so.
Damsel
Gonna
flies.
say, a little more
not
disappointing
all
on one side than the
damsels.
other.
Yeah.
Nor flies, all one word. I think the one kind of exception that I see a lot is bumblebee.
Mhm.
Bumblebee will sometimes be written as a single word, even though they are actually bees.
I see that
But
for both bumblebee and honeybee.
Honeybee.
Don't know why.
Yeah, honeybee to me is you've spelled it wrong if you write it as a single word.
Yeah, but I've definitely seen it that way.
Yeah.
While we're talking about, go for it.
I just feel like American English likes to run things together a lot more anyway, just as a sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
While we're talking about naming conventions, I always find like regional differences interesting. Like with, I think roly-polies or isopods is another good example. But like, what did you grow up calling these beetles with butts that glow?
Well, that's like because Peter mentioned lightning bug, and I was thinking back. I'm like, I definitely remember seeing them on trips to North Carolina as a kid. So that may be where I picked up the name lightning bug. I don't remember what the more common use is down here in Texas.
We called them fireflies in Connecticut, pretty generally.
I feel like I might have grown up with it more, calling them fireflies, but I also knew both names and used both names like all growing up. So I think we might have been sort of a mix in the like Chicagoland area.
Yeah, I grew up in central Pennsylvania, which it winds up being like a mixing point for a lot of those regional word choices. And so, yeah, I also grew up with both, like Ryan. Exgoose is saying in the UK, they call them glowworms, primarily because of the larva. So I've heard glowworm used as like, the term for the larva or also the female sometimes, right? But I haven't heard it used to refer to like the adult males, which I guess maybe that's the next place to go here, is that like the bugs that they all caught for Trinket were just the males.
The Spanish for them is luciérnaga, which is really pretty.
That is pretty.
And has nothing to do with beetles or flies, so it's convenient.
But it has light in it, which is like the important part.
So if they're a species where only the males light up, that would actually narrow it down a lot, because there are some species where the females light up. There's actually a lot. So you end up with situations where like the males blink and the females respond to kind of communicate, and that's how they find each other.
Yeah.
Probably the most interesting species to me is there's a group where one genus of the females is predatory, and so they actually mimic the females of another genus. So the males will see a response from a female that is attractive. There's that blinking off in the bush, and then show up thinking that they've got a potential mate, and then get eaten.
That's my favorite firefly fact. Nature is so metal.
Well, but she steals his chemicals and then passes it down to her eggs. Like it's like a whole thing. Yeah. It's not just food.
Well, but like, so I mean, you said like, oh, there are some species of firefly where like just the males light up, and some where like the females blink to respond. But like, even in species where like the females blink to respond, they don't like fly around, right? Like my understanding was that all of the females sit someplace, and so like if you're out as a kid with a jar at night or a net or whatever trying to catch fireflies, that you would be catching the males, right?
I mean, unless you're the kid, rooting around in the bushes, picking off the easy ones on the leaves.
Valid.
Work smart, not hard.
Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna chase. I was like, oh, why is this leaf blinking? Let's pick that one up.
Because a lot of those females mature and stay larva form, so they never develop wings, even when they have their fully formed reproductive organs and are adults. They still like look like larvae, so they can glow and reproduce, but they don't fly. They don't move anywhere.
There's diurnal fireflies, at least here in the cloud forest. I don't know about the States anymore, but that don't blink at all. They've like secondarily lost their light as adults. They keep it as larvae, but they don't have them as adults.
That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, so every now and then you find one, and someone's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a diurnal firefly. It doesn't light up. It looks like a beetle."
Ta-da!
It's
Yeah.
black. Like,
so that means they secondarily went from being active during the day, like that was like the whole behavior switched back again.
Yeah,
or is
apparently.
Oh wow.
So
because the light, a lot of them either have vestigial lights that don't light up, or the light is just gone altogether. And there's not even like a space for it, but they retain it as larvae. So all of the larvae have it, and we think that it was because that it tells predators that they're toxic. So when they light up, they're like, "Don't eat me." It's an aposematic coloration, and then like that light still worked like that, because there's a couple studies that came out, I guess, in the past couple of years that show that bats and other nocturnal like birds and lizards and stuff stay away from fireflies when they're glowing, because they know like, oh, they're toxic. And in addition, like it picked up this secondary mating use as well. So the diurnal fireflies, they have like really wonk antenna because they're using all chemical signals for mating. And are otherwise like kind of camouflagey and black.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of what you just said, so the lighting up is a trait of the larvae, and then the adults of some species retain it into adulthood, which is a derived trait. So like the ancestral fireflies only glowed as larvae, and then a subset of them kept that trait into adulthood. So it's a neotenous trait, which is the scientific word for when an adult has something that looks like a baby. So they're retaining that trait and also modifying it to serve a dual purpose, which is cool. But that's why, so like in the Western United States, there are lightning bug species that also don't light up as adults. But that's why like in the UK and stuff like that, you have glowworms because the worm glows.
Nice. Very cool. So why do they glow? How do?
Luciferin
And luciferase.
and luciferase.
Yeah.
I think there's a picture of it in this book somewhere. Hold on, y'all talk about it. Let me find a picture.
So the ace ending on the word means it's an enzyme. So luciferase breaks down luciferin, and through that breaking.
And Luca means light, right? Which is where you get
Lightbringer.
Lucifer.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, that was my impression, is that like when the luciferase like breaks the luciferin, that the breaking of the chemical bonds is what creates the light, right? It's a release.
Yeah, you have energy
Excite
released
the electrons.
So the energy takes the form of light. Yeah. In the reaction.
Nice.
Or at least some of it. There's probably a tiny amount of heat, but it's probably like a minuscule.
Oh, this is really cool. It's almost like 99% energy efficient, like something ridiculous. And so early scientists were studying it because they're like, it's a cold light, and that's how we made glow sticks, by studying firefly butt.
Oh, funny.
Sweet. That's
Wow.
Sorry, I just got the image of you like cracking and shaking a giant firefly. But...
Yeah, right.
It is,
yeah.
But it makes sense because, like, if you think about a glow stick, you've got a plastic tube, and inside of that plastic tube is a glass tube, and so you've got two separated chemicals that then when you crack it, they mix together, and that's just like the luciferin and the luciferase mixing together to release the light.
So what I want to know, I don't know, maybe because Nancy has the book or because you did that whole course on insect chemical stuff, like that explains where the light comes from, but how do they turn it on and off for the flashing? Is that just like really strong control over the release of the chemicals and like the mixing?
Yeah. So that's actually really interesting because like in the cloud forest, you find kind of like dead fireflies all over the place because there's a couple that just have like a season, right? Kind of just like cicadas. And then after their season, like they're all just like dead. But the light is on because it's like a controlled reaction through like muscles that when rigor mortis kicks in, the light stays on until the chemicals run out. So you see all these like dead glowing fireflies on like littering the ground.
That's so
weird.
weird and creepy. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I also liked, so I picked fireflies as a thing that Trinket wanted you to go get, and, you know, the other things off of the list of things she wanted, and the things that Elsa had said you could bring back, are all things that are, like, actual, you know, listed in the D&D books as being, like, material components for spells or, you know, components for potions or whatever. And I guess, like, that's one of the things that fascinates me about, like, magic systems, regardless of what fantasy magic system you're talking about, D&D or your favorite book series or whatever, like where are the overlaps where we know or like culturally have known in the past that like things had magic or contribute to magic. And I think that it's cool, like in the case of fireflies, that like there's an alchemical or like a chemical logic behind why they might be useful. Like they're not just like ooh, it's a cool looking bug in the woods. Like there is something kind of amazing going on inside of them. So that's why I picked them, because I knew you would like to talk about bugs, but also because it's like a magic, a component for a spell that actually makes sense.
That looks like a protein. I
was gonna say, is this the chemicals?
The luciferase holding luciferin.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course, those are used. They'll pull the genetic code for that and use it for all kinds of testing and experiments, because it's a great, like, if you just want something that you want to make a part of the brain light up when something is being done to it.
Great marker.
Throw in those markers. Yeah.
Not to be confused with the fluorescent markers, which are different, like the GFP and stuff like that, where you've got so in nature you've got marker, like things that create light, and then things that fluoresce when light is shined on them. Like things that glow under a black light are fluorescing. They're not glowing, they're reflecting light in a specific way that's modifying the wavelength of light. Right. So there you can tag stuff genetically with luciferase, or with like a GFP, green fluorescent protein, where it will reflect green light if you shine a specific wavelength of light on it. So it's like totally different ways of tagging specific parts of a genetic code, or yeah.
And since Peter threw out the word fluoresce, we've also got bioluminescence is what we're talking about. So bioluminescence is when a living thing creates light. And there's been a lot of confusion and or argument over whether certain things in, various kingdoms of life bioluminesce or fluoresce. And I'm gonna assume there are also some things that do both, ? 'Cause why not?
I found how the light switch works.
Oh, the light switch. Love that.
And so nitric oxide seems to be the secret ingredient in the firefly's light switch, produced in the firefly lantern in response to a nerve impulse coming from the brain. NO flips the switch on the mitochondrial respiration to open and close the gateway for incoming oxygen to reach the light-producing reactants sequestered deep inside the photocytes. We've discovered an entirely new biological function for the ubiquitous signaling molecule NO.
Nitrous? Yeah, nitrous oxide, which is laughing gas.
Right. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so it allows flash communication. There you go.
That's
This book,
cool.
highly recommend. I met the author. She's great. She also has a TED Talk if you don't want to read the book. I highly recommend watching the TED Talk and reading the book. They're both called Silent Sparks.
What's the author's name?
Sarah Lewis.
Very cool. Nice. And yeah, the flash pattern created by that gateway or light switch is unique to the different species, like Peter was saying about the different genera mimicking one another in order to predate them. But it's not just the flash pattern, it's also the flight pattern. So like some males fly in more or less a straight line, some of them fly in kind of like weird J shapes. And so it's the combination of the flight pattern of the male and the flashing.
And the altitude at which they fly. Because there's some that live in the treetops and there's some that live in the grass.
And even some slight differences in the tone of the color. So some of them are more yellow and some of them are more green-yellow. So all of those different things differentiate.
And the time that they're out.
Yeah.
You have like the early evening. There's like the set that you could have a set doing like a really similar thing, but like one is out early evening and the other one comes out a little later when the other one is done for the night. Like they really like partition out that space like really, really well.
Oh man, we could talk about niche partitioning now.
Yeah.
I know.
More broadly.
But that's easy to bring into like anything.
I mean, yeah, like that's
I want to jump in and go back one step and say that there's also the kind of famous blue ghost fireflies that occur in the area around here, where you kind of more of a blue color too. So
it's an optical illusion. I read that in this book because when they actually so to our eyes it looks blue, but when they actually run it on like a light sensor, it comes out as a green wavelength, and we can't figure out why.
Weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame the fact that it's the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah, there you go.
Or is it something about like how our eyes process light at night? in that like limited light circumstance, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a human biologist.
Me
None of us are.
I mean, I am a human
Right,
biologist.
that's the joke. Thanks.
Oh, I got you. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't get it immediately, so.
Other fun things to say about lightning bugs, fireflies, glowworms, etc.
Can I talk about the headlamp beetles?
Oh yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I was like, if we go all the way back to the beginning,
Go for it.
I won't talk about those, so Nancy can talk about those. Because there's a bunch of other groups of things that get called glowworms, like in addition to fireflies. One that I think got really famous from, I think it was the Planet Earth series, were the fungus gnat larvae in the caves in New Zealand.
Oh, on the strings.
Make mucus like tents or like, you know, hammocks for themselves and drop down droplets of mucus, and they have bioluminescence at the end of their body, and they are called glowworms also, and they use that as a lure for things to get attracted to those lights in these pitch black caves and get stuck in the mucus that they're producing and just draw them up and eat them. So that's another glowworm. And then the other one I wanted to mention was the railroad worm, which is another beetle. It's also called a glowworm, but it's in the family Phengodidae. And they're super unique because they, in their bioluminescence, produce red light. And there's not a lot of red light being produced terrestrially. So they're really, really cool.
Do you know, like, has anyone sort of come up with potential explanations for why? Because, yeah, the fact that you clarified terrestrially is really interesting, because we know, like, a lot of pelagic or deep ocean creatures create red light. But, yeah, why would something terrestrially be making red?
All I know is that they believe it to be a warning color, like a warning, just like Nancy said about like displaying toxicity. I'm not aware of any more information about like why it could be red. And it may be the same kind of function, like you want to be visible to some things but not others. The way that like they use like red light in the bottom of the ocean, and why things look the way they do when we put light down there, it's because of where they live. So it might be connected to something like that. That'll be really interesting to like try to read more into.
Yeah, cool. Tell us about headlamp bugs, Nancy.
Yeah, so they're called cocuyos in Spanish. You can find them actually all the way from South Florida, I believe, all the way through down to Ecuador. What's really interesting, though, is that one, they have like 3 lights. So they're a click beetle, and they have like 2 eyes in the front and the patch in the thorax underneath them that all glow. And in my experience, the ones like through Cuba are all green. The ones on the western side of the cloud forest are bright, like cigarette orange, back to that red light. And the ones on the eastern side are mainly green, but can produce both. So sometimes you find some that like have the green eyes, but the glowing red thorax. And they're just like wonky. And for as far as I can tell, I can't find any studies on them. But the Alexander Humboldt, he was a famous naturalist who came to Ecuador, and he wrote, this is my favorite quote. He wrote, "Several in a perforated gourd make an acceptable reading lamp because they are really that bright. It's insane how bright they glow."
In a perforated gourd.
In a perforated gourd, right?
I mean, it's like kids reading by the light of a bunch of fireflies in a jar. I like that imagery. It's cool.
Only instead of a jar, it's a jack-o'-lantern.
Right, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you haven't seen any studies on these, but like, do you know? So we discussed the mechanism by which fireflies.
It's
make
still
their
luciferin.
light. Okay.
And I talked, like I mentioned, the author of the Silent Sparks book came down, and I was like, I'm so interested in this. And we know that you can change the wavelength of light by changing the luciferin molecule. But as to why we see those differences is we don't know. The biological reason why I don't have a good answer for, other than like species separation, right? Because like you have the Andes straight in the middle. So obviously there's some sort of like speciation happening there. But the larvae also glow bright. And if you touch them, like it looks like a little airplane runway at night. You get these like two little like series of two dots all the way down their body, and you poke it and it goes and then you can just see them like crawling through the undergrowth. They're like so awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. Other glowing bug facts, stories?
I mean, again, there's a whole book, so
There's
could
a whole
be here all
book.
night.
Nancy, since we talked about this, that like, the light can be or is aposematic in warning colors because they're toxic. When you joked last time that Azzy had once eaten a firefly, what would happen to someone who would choose to eat a firefly?
Usually like
curious.
stomach problems. So dogs can actually die if they eat the photurus ones.
Which is a genius.
The photinus ones. Sorry, the photinus ones. The photurus are the ones that eat the photinus, so that way they can steal the chemicals. So it's the photinus. But yeah, it's a genus of fireflies. And if your like small dog eats enough of them, they can die from it. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's so cute, my dog is eating fire." No. It's like it is really bad stuff. Not great. We're too big. But I mean, I also wouldn't recommend eating them.
So
you probably won't.
Yeah,
you said
if you ate enough. Yeah, right. So like if you like,
yeah,
a jar
full of fireflies
like with a spoon.
Right.
They also taste bad, right?
I would
Yeah.
assume so.
I assume.
But yeah, it's not the luciferin that's causing the problems. It's actually like a different chemical that's in them that's also in the book. BRB.
No worries. But yeah, so the luciferin is not the toxin. It's just the thing that warns predators about the toxin. Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, I would assume they don't taste great. I've never put one in my mouth.
All right.
I mean, they don't
I'll report
smell
back.
great.
Of
Like-
course Peter's gonna go do it. Like, why?
I'm curious.
Only if you do it live on stream.
Okay.
That's the sort of thing people do on Twitch, right? What did you find?
It's probably against the terms of use, right?
On
Killing
a side
live
note,
animals.
because fireflies are so toxic, especially here in the tropics, we get a lot of mimics for them. So we have like moth mimics of fireflies, and even a cockroach that mimics fireflies.
Oh, I remember seeing the moth mimic of fireflies at the light traps when I was there, but we didn't see the cockroach one. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So do they actually light up, or is it just
No, they
other
don't light up.
physical
It's just
features
the
look like it?
pattern.
It just like the moth on my hand, like it's got like antennae and like its wings are shaped more like the
Oh yeah, 'cause it's a very
elytra.
distinctive shape.
Yeah, so like the wings are they're not it's not a perfect mimic, but the wings are shaped more like the elytra of the beetle would be in like a similar like dark color.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not a perfect mimic, but like good enough to fool most predators at a distance because you don't want to get up close and personal with something that's dangerous.
Net-winged beetles also are toxic, and there's a lot of moths that mimic net-winged beetles. Anyway, here's like a picture of some various mimics. Hold on.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah. So I'm gonna guess that the one in the middle bottom row is the cockroach.
Cockroach, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking the one in the top corner is the cockroach
The
on the
top
green
left?
leaf.
Oh.
Yeah, the top left.
Nancy,
You're
you're
muted.
Still
Nancy.
muted.
I like
That
us
looked-
trying to
that-
guess though.
That looked like that looked like a netwing beetle. Was that a light sit up in the
This
upper?
one's a moth. This one's the cockroach.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang it.
Anyway, look, they're good. They tricked us.
I mean, yeah.
Professional bug ideas, and they tricked us.
yeah. And you've got
Listen, I
like-
know bees and butterflies of North America and dung beetles. Like,
No.
So yeah,
Fireflies don't often come up in agricultural situations.
Right.
This big.
so the images that they showed were of a cockroach, a blister beetle, a longhorn beetle, a netwing beetle, a moth, and a soldier beetle that are all mimicking fireflies.
nice.
I feel like soldier beetles and longhorn beetles are both just like, yeah, we'll mimic anything. Like, we
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
it.
whatever. We got this, brah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Other thoughts? Was that
I
point?
think I'm out of thoughts.
Your thought?
All out.
Awesome.
All out.
We're empty. All right, well then that concludes the science breakout. Ding. All right. Thanks for coming along on that Firefly-tastic journey with us, audience. All right, so now it's morning, and you can do whatever you'd like in the town as we play D&D as per advertised on the channel.
As per advertised.
What morning is it?
Yes, so it is Hiram, so the equivalent of Tuesday, the second day of Pelaran, which is the equivalent of July? Let me look at this calendar that I made up because I hate myself. The equivalent of July. You better believe it. And there's a holiday this month. The 14th,
What is it?
The 14th day of Pelaran is Paylor's Day.
Okay. What
Okay.
are the normal celebrations for Paylor's Day? You mentioned it.
I'm just letting you know what month it is.
It's just a date. It's just a date. It's
Sun-associated
on there.
Paylor things.
Okay, yeah. I
Moving
mean, I
on.
don't give a shit about Paylor.
Right,
so,
exactly.
I mean,
Why would you care anyway?
Why would I care? Yeah.
What even is
Paylor's
Paylor?
Day? Paylor's Day is the kind of day where you show up at the bar and it's really crowded and you're like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
damn it, it's Paylor's Day. Ugh.
That's like every Ecuadorian holiday to me.
my
I'm like,
goodness.
oh yeah.
Paylor is the god of like the sun, righteousness, blah de blah de blah. He's sort of the so there's this huge pantheon, right? And like some people prioritize worshiping like one god or over another, and so like in Tenebria, the sort of like primary focus of religion is to Paylor, and all of the other gods are sort of secondary-ish.
All right.
I think Moradin falls into the ish category.
I mean, it's fair that you guys don't worship Moradin because Moradin doesn't really care about
Right.
you guys as much.
Exactly.
Oh no.
You guys are all worshippers-ish to Moradin, so, you know.
So why are you trying so hard to convert us then?
I mean, am I trying hard? I feel like we've just had a lot of good
Yeah, I
conversations.
don't feel oh.
That was a
Ick.
visceral reaction. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You did have pamphlets.
I did. But those are informational pamphlets. I just want everybody to be informed. Are you okay? I feel like I have hardcore triggered you right now.
We good?
And I have some very strong opinions about missionary work.
I was gonna say, is he doing too good a job right now? Is that?
It's real good. It's hitting all the right lines.
I agree.
Sorry.
Look,
No, you're good.
it's not that your beliefs are wrong.
Right.
It's just
But they
that I
are.
feel like I should tell you about mine because they're the right ones.
With this informational pamphlet that
Mhm.
tells you about hell.
We're just here to help these people.
I got proselytized to once in the student union of my university when I was like a sophomore, and I was just like studying or something, and this girl came over and started talking to me like a complete stranger, and like partway through her spiel I was like, I don't really appreciate being proselytized to, like, can you leave me alone? And she was like, I'm not doing that. And I was like, what do you think you're doing? Like, that's the word for what you're doing right now.
I may have kind of quit going to youth groups after a one that just focused entirely on mission, and then someone was like, aren't you so excited about it? And I was like,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
no. And if I tell you why, you will kick me out of this building.
My friends and I started this thing for here that for Valentine's Day, because it's always been like a thing that I've liked, is like to just buy a bunch of flowers and hand them out to people on the street for like chaos. And so like chaotic good. And so it was like we were like passing out flowers, and like this group was like, oh, they must love Jesus too. And I was like, no.
You just like
Just
doing
like
nice
if
things for people.
I just
Yeah.
like doing nice things for people. It
In
doesn't
any
have
case.
to be. Anyway.
In any case, that's what Paylor is. That is what month it is. Cedric loves Moradin. Not like that's a surprise.
Newsflash.
With
Yeah.
pamphlets
With
and
pamphlets.
diagrams.
There aren't any diagrams on the pamphlets.
Kay like holds up a pamphlet and points to a diagram.
I mean, there's like the icon that you guys used in the puzzles about him when he was dead. So it's good that he had pamphlets, because then you knew things about him.
I guess that's true. Should we have even saved his life? I don't know.
The cliff notes to Cedric. Are we all in the bar? I feel like basically
You
Cedric
can
would
be
have like.
wherever you want to be. It is
Oh,
more.
that's
Well, and
Morning.
is this the day? Is this the day after we just did those things, or is it?
No. So basically,
Okay.
you fought the flowers and did firefly things at night. The next day, Fletcher spent in bed, and they did some
Yeah,
other
I didn't
stuff.
do anything.
You got lesser restoration cast on you, which I sent you in the Discord. How many con points you got back? So this is the day following you taking bed rest.
Cedric knocks on your door first thing in the morning and is like, knock, knock, and like opens the door.
He says knock knock as he hits the door. I imagine that.
He's that kind of guy.
Or you do
That's
the
a very-
pair thing where you're not knocking, you just say knock knock as you open the door.
Yeah. I'm just coming in to see if I can use a little of Moradin's magic to make you feel better. How you feeling this morning?
No, I mean I'm already up. I'm like I'm feeling a lot better. I think literally not doing anything yesterday, and you casting your magic really helped. Otherwise, I might not be out of bed today.
I'm glad I can help. That's what I'm here for. I know that's what you guys know me for. All the healing, all the time. That's what I do, right?
Except on yourself, right?
Hey.
Yeah. I mean, if you feel great, I guess I could heal myself a little bit. That would be
Great.
How
fine.
much con damage, or like how much ability damage do we heal overnight? It's just one, right?
One point of ability damage every night, and then hit points per level. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the one I'm concerned with at this point is that I'm still down 3 con points.
Oh, and Fletcher, for spending the whole day on bed rest, you get 2 points per level for the day of bed rest.
Oh no, I was looking up Firefly facts and closed out of my character sheet.
So Fletcher is good now on like the con damage.
Nice.
So if other people need assistance, they can get it. And I'm just like, I mean, is everybody else up? I'm ready to eat. I'm starving. I just slept yesterday.
Yeah, I think Leon has our breakfast already going downstairs. So yeah.
So I guess we'll head down and see if I don't know where Nautia and Kay are or how they're feeling.
Okay, did you go back to home after?
Yeah, probably.
Because I know after the fireflies and the plants and whatever, you spent the night at the Marked Bird, but I'm assuming
did, yeah.
you went home the next night. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Don't want mom freaking out too much.
I mean,
But also not dragging home half dead.
right.
Yeah, I had a sleepover with Nautia. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. Good fun.
I believe that. It's not a lie.
It's not a lie. It is 100% truth.
Sleepover with my water method friend that I met in the
legit.
jungle. Yeah.
Every day is a sleepover when you're camping in the wilderness.
Her mom loves me.
I missed her, that's all.
Mhm.
You know, the house is kind of loud with lots of kids running around. And, yeah. And I didn't want to wake anyone up after coming back late from firefly catching, so...
So I can cast Lesser Restoration twice, and it's a D4 of healing or of con restoration every time. I would have prepared it twice today, knowing that like everybody still needs it. So Fletcher, if you're good, I'm gonna go check him in the Nautia, see if she needs some of that Moradin might.
I
Love
could
juice.
use some of that.
All right.
Still feeling 2 points puny.
Puny.
I'm still feeling 3 points puny.
That's
Our con score is
3
supposed to be very high.
3 points of restoration to you,
To
Nautia.
That'll do it.
And Kay, you still feeling down?
Yeah.
You get 2.
Better than nothing.
Should swap those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
should've
can you
swapped
swap
those.
them?
Nope. Not how it works.
Cedric, how many con points are you down?
Let's see. Still several.
You got 2 back. We've rested for 2 nights.
Yep.
You have 2 back.
Yeah. Let's see. I am.
The selfless cleric.
Whoa, that is not right. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I'm actually good now.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Sweet.
I'm still down. I'm still down 1. Sorry,
Oh.
I'm still down 1.
Okay.
That's sweet. Well, now that you've taken care of all of that and everybody feels better, the day is ahead of you. It's sunny and warm.
We gave the fireflies to Trinket?
You
Yes.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then we
Well, we
cleaned the
paid
shop.
her with fireflies to do a lot of magic.
Right.
And then you also organized her shop, which was also a form of payment. Or friendship, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, goods and services in exchange for labor.
There we go.
And
Services.
services. And she told you that you get first pick on magic items in her shop when she finishes things.
Did we want to get the potions analyzed by Pops? Because Trinket said that we could do that.
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right. I guess let's go to Pops' place.
All right.
All right.
Well, before we, I would before we finish breakfast, I would, since I'm only just now out of bed again now, I would think we would conglomerate all the things that have been identified and divvy them up, which we've already decided, but just to make sure we know, state hey, everybody has these magical items now, and we know what they do.
Yeah. So, as a refresher, and Cedric pulls all of the items out of his bag of holding, and, sets them on the table. So the we had this incense that Trinket says is an incense of meditation. It's supposed to help people who channel the divine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and he's slowly making eye contact with everyone at the table as he scoops it back into the bag of holding. Okay, all right. We've also got 2 amulets and an armband. One of the amulets is an amulet of vermin, which Trinket said summons a giant ant.
I want to be
queen.
able to summon the giant bug.
Okay. Interesting change of
I mean, you can.
feelings about bugs.
Also about that necklace in particular, because she definitely thought it was cursed. She was 100% convinced it was cursed.
Because it's the one that has the little.
The thing that
wiggly-
twitches
wiggly-
on the inside, yes.
Yeah. But now that I know it's not cursed, it's kind of cool, right? And and if I'm wearing it, then the bug won't attack me. So really, this is the best case scenario because I'm in control of the bug.
All right.
True, all true. I mean, Nautia has a lot of experience creating creatures out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a thing I kind of do. But
But-
I mean, if you want it,
If you
I guess
want
that
it,
means, but that means you get all your own animals. Why do you need an extra one?
so it's
sometimes
okay.
an extra's helpful. But it's okay. You can have it if you want.
Well, I'll try it out and see if it freaks the hell out of me, then I'll give it to you. How's that?
Okay.
All
The
right.
giant queen ant. I cannot wait.
Yeah, whoever is gonna wield that necklace needs to have the giant queen ant 3.5 stats available to them, because I'm not gonna keep track of your pet for you.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
realized that. I will look that up.
Oh man, when you summon that, we're gonna have a conversation about ants. And
Yes.
it's gonna be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, it
And also about whether or not a queen ant would fight in combat. But anyway, that's for the future.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, would not be super useful.
No.
yeah. sits down, tears her own wings off, starts popping out babies.
I mean, if they came out at velocity, see, we're having the conversation now.
Okay. We have 2 more items. We have an amulet of aquatic salvation, which grants the ability to breathe underwater for a short period of time. And then also an armband of elusive action, which allows people to kind of dash out of combat in a tricksy way so that no one can stab them.
Oh, that sounds maybe better for me. And she just like slips the amulet over to Nautia.
She's like, I want all of the things.
Well, it sounds like it allows you to not be basically reacted to, and that happens to me when I need to cast magic and people get too close to me, and I can't really fight without my magic. So it'd be very useful for me to be able to either get away to be able to cast or to do what I need to do when people are like right on me, because that has gone very poorly for me in the past.
I feel you.
True.
Feel you,
That
buddy.
makes
Been there.
Yeah.
So we've still got the aquatic salvation amulet, which
Well,
of
Nautia
all of
can
us,
already swim, so that doesn't make sense to give it to her.
yeah, it specifically allows you to breathe underwater, which Nautia can also do.
Already do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Maybe we could sell that one and then I could buy a magic bow. Because, like, remember that one time when there was that, like, gross tentacle thing that came out and then we tried to shoot it and it didn't do anything? And then if I can't shoot something, I'm kind of useless. But I also don't feel like I need to swim better. And we already have someone who can breathe underwater.
Well, I think that brings up an interesting question that we haven't really discussed yet, which is kind of if we're talking about selling items and reinvesting them into stuff for all of us, are we gonna adventure again? I mean, I just ask because we haven't really talked about it since we got back to town, and
We have to figure out what all those temples are doing. Don't you want to, like, awaken the gods or whatever?
yes, I do very much. Yes, absolutely. It's just that you spent the last 3 months complaining about everything that we did, and so I thought,
Well,
maybe
yeah,
you
it
wouldn't
kind
wanna
of
do
sucked,
that.
but it was kind of fun.
Okay, great. All right, so everybody's on board. Okay, awesome. Let's.
I mean,
do
I'm not
that
going to
then.
stop complaining about it, though. I mean, because some parts really do suck. Like your
that's-
feet. Your feet are
that-
very stinky.
That's
I
fair.
thought you meant your feet as in like one's feet hurt, but you meant his feet specifically.
I meant his feet specifically, yes. His feet are responsible for at least 90% of my suffering.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I've heard that before.
Makes notes to pick harder monsters next time.
I mean, you already know what'll
36
kill us
hours after a
instantly.
TPK, yeah.
There's also, if we have a magic item that we really are like, we don't have a lot of use, we want to sell it. If we find out it's worth a significant amount, we can also send it to Thornborough through the bag and potentially get a lot of money knocked off the debt.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel like we need the aquatic salvation. And I don't know. I think you guys are right. It does make more sense for Nautia to have the giant ant queen. She already is good at controlling animals. Like my luck, I pull it out and it'd be like, ha-ha, and chop me in half. So as long as Nautia can guarantee that I will not be chopped in half by the giant ant queen, I'm happy to give it to her.
Yeah, I can control them. That's how it works.
It's good to know. Oh, okay. Well,
So we
then,
don't-
Kate,
I was just saying, so we don't know, we haven't decided yet exactly what we want to do with the other amulet, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I don't really want it. Not to sound like a snoot.
I mean, I do love the idea of being able to breathe underwater, but as
Yeah.
far as our adventures go, I mean, I suppose all of our underwater stuff that we've needed to do Nautia has been able to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not opposed to holding onto it for right now, but maybe if we found a magic bow, we could
Trade it, maybe?
trade it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something maybe, but I mean, you also, sometimes it's really helpful for more than one person to be able to breathe underwater.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
kind of
good point.
depend, I guess.
She's
Yeah.
like, don't make me go alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we hold on to it for now, but we'll put that at the top of our bargaining list
Mhm.
if we
Mhm.
we'll use it until we need something else more.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
fair.
Okay. Now I do feel very uncomfortable about the whole wearing a necklace thing, but I suppose if it is functional, that's probably fine.
I mean, you have to wear it as a necklace, or you can just keep it in your pocket.
I don't know, Fletcher. How do these magic items work?
I mean, generally, you should be wearing them as appropriate so that they can some self-activate in a certain under certain conditions. Others you have to purposefully activate.
Just hide it
Okay.
under your collar. No one will notice.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's no big deal, right? That's
And,
fine.
and Moradin would much rather you wear a necklace and not drown than drown, I think. I mean, I would assume. I mean, I guess I'm not him, but I would assume that you would want your faithful follower to not drown.
Yeah, no, in some of the Apocrypha, he comes out pretty clear anti-drowning. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I
mhm.
think those aren't canon in the church, but I mean, I think it's a fair assumption to make. I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah. You can just hide
Right.
it. No one has to know.
Yeah. Tuck it down under my
Tucking
How
it
will
shirt.
they
down
know?
inside your baggy off-white Reptoran maid shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm wearing so much jewelry under this shirt. You can't even tell. Oh, it's gonna get tangled in my
I was
chest
gonna
hair.
say the
But-
chain is gonna get tangled in your as canon chest hair. The gem,
Yeah.
the perfectly spheroid clear blue gem feels nice and cool against your skin though on this hot day.
Hey, it's like built-in air cooling, whatever that's called.
Yeah, and Moradin would not want his faithful servant to overheat either, so useful
Actually,
all
he's
around.
he's pretty okay with that. Actually,
Oh.
yeah,
Forges and whatnot.
yeah, it's a forge thing.
Yeah.
Basically, either you can handle the heat or you can't.
Ooh.
It's like if you can't handle the heat, get out of the forge, kind of thing. There's
I
a
have
whole-
much to learn.
Yeah.
can't wait
Oh,
until
really?
they go
Would
to
you
the
like
volcano.
to learn more?
No, I'm sure I will end up though on our various adventures in the future that are not
So
now.
excited about more adventures. Do you have a pull? Do you have any dreams or anything
No,
like
not
that?
recently. I mean, I also didn't feel great yesterday from giant prickly plants and all.
Sure. It's just regular not feeling great. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I always felt that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never had anything when I was in the city anyway. I didn't feel a tug until we got into the wilds. So maybe it's the city maybe blocks the magic pulsing stuff. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe Fletcher knows better, but I'm assuming there's walls to keep stuff out could include magic.
I love seeing the walls of New Manchester. They don't look particularly good. No,
Well, you don't look particularly good for a servant of Moradin, and yet here we are.
It's okay. I'm not required to look good. Not even supposed to look good.
And neither are our walls, and they seem to have functioned just fine up until this point.
It's true. We have not been attacked by terrifying flowers inside the city, so clearly they're keeping some stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
we should go see Pops now, I think.
It's a good plan. I like it. All right.
Amazing.
You guys done with breakfast? Let's get on out there. I do not remember the way to Pop's shop, but I'm sure one of you does.
I do. I know how to get there.
Yep. All right, so you're headed back to Bubble and Fizz. It's number 38 on the map of New Sachester, if you care. I'll re-describe the exterior and interior just because it has been quite a while since we were there. The storefront is largely unassuming and unremarkable, save for the large wooden sign hanging above the door. It depicts a few bottles of potions of various sizes, shapes, and colors. But if you are like walking under the sign or past it and you just look at it like out of your peripheral vision instead of straight on, you could almost swear there were bubbles drifting slowly from the lips of all of the wooden bottles on the sign.
It's so cute. See, Pops has got the marketing down. He should like talk to Trinket more. Maybe she should listen to him more.
Yeah. I don't think he has to worry about her as competition right now.
Rude.
I mean, I'm just saying, her marketing game is terrible. She needs to step up her. I mean, you know,
I just got the greatest idea for an animated sign for her shop. But anyway. So when you step in this shop, it's really, there's like a lot of overpowering smells, right? Lots of, you know, different potions and things. It's also a low-lit interior. There are no windows, and there are just some magical lights sort of hovering about the space. And the main part of the room is filled with a few metal racks that have, like, rings on them that potion bottles are sort of nested in. And then this shop, kind of like Quetzal's jewelry shop, has a U-shaped counter that runs the whole way, so you sort of walk in and are boxed in by this counter where there are a few racks of potions and things, but then like Pops and Fluvis can move around behind this sort of U-shaped counter to assist people. So you come into Bubble and Fizz, and Fluvis is sort of moving among the racks of potions. He looks like he's like stacking some, or like stocking some things, or maybe reorganizing stuff when you come in.
So
you looked like you were going to say anything.
I was just wondering if Nautia and how Nautia reacted to Fluvis.
Oh, yeah. So Nautia, you do see he's not like the exact same kind of water method as you, but you do see a water method in the shop when you come.
Oh, this is the other water method.
Yes,
Okay.
This
okay.
is the other.
Yeah, I
water
couldn't remember
method.
where
Yeah.
he was.
So he resembles a water elemental a lot more. So he's sort of this like humanoid bipedal form that like very obviously is made out of water. Like he's more transparent, translucent, and like actively looks wet on the outside, whereas you look more like fishy. But you are both water methods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, what?
And I sort of hi.
Yeah,
say hi to Fluvis when I catch sight of him.
He turns around as you guys start making noise and opening the door and sort of like shoves whatever he has in his hands in a rack, just helter-skelter, and sort of moves out from the racks and is like, hello, I recognize you. I do not. Hello. Welcome to Bubble and Fizz. I'm Fluvis.
I'm Nautia.
It's wonderful to meet you.
Wow, I've seen some other methods here, but wow, you've been here this whole time?
Yes. You mean this whole time as in, like, the loss and such, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was here before that, voluntarily, so it's not quite as much of a problem for me as I assume it might be for others such as yourself. Terribly sorry that you've been stuck.
I mean, you know, I was here by choice too, so...
Are you
in a very different place?
Is she? I mean, I remembered that you're a caster, but is she your familiar? You didn't bring her in with you last time.
I'm like,
no, I'm not a familiar.
No. I like don't want Nautia to be insulted. I'm like, no.
No, I'm just here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to presume.
Cast.
You said Oh, you can. That's amazing. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to presume. I just, when you said you were also here voluntarily, I wasn't sure if you meant as a companion to a caster, but,
Oh no, I was just hanging out with some friends over in the jungle.
Oh, in the jungle. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fae folk over there. It's real good times.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
He's like very interested. All of a sudden, like, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you should come hang out sometime.
I should come hang out sometime.
You can swim across the river. It's pretty close and clean now.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh,
we
that's
fixed the
good.
river.
Oh, that is wonderful. Yes, the water was disgusting and I was very unhappy.
Yeah. It hurt.
Yes. And you're the ones that made it better. That is wonderful. I knew that I liked you.
Nautia helped a whole lot. I mean, she was the one
Oh.
who like basically found the source because she like dove under the water
Makes
where
sense.
it
It
was
was
clean
a
and then
river under the ground.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
We had
wonderful.
We had to go out into the desert to find the bad place.
Ugh. That sounds
Yeah.
awful. Less fun.
It was.
Ugh. Not a fan of deserts. But
No.
more power to you for going out there and making the river better for the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have done it without these guys, obviously. But yeah. Ah, there's another water method here. Okay, cool.
That's me.
Yeah, I hope you don't feel as weird here. I know you felt kind of like you've been like hiding and stuff, but like he's
I
been here
mean,
this
like-
whole time. So then like he just flew
Okay.
here.
All right. There's just not a lot of other people who look like us in town, you know?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
okay though.
so yeah, we're here for to get some potions,
Yeah,
Identify?
that's what we have.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean to? Oh, yes. Let me.
right?
And he sort of like bobs over and like lifts up a portion of the counter to like go back behind, and goes into the back, and you hear a little bit of a conversation, and then Pops comes back out. And for reference, Pops again is sort of like a middle-aged gnome, with brown skin and wavy blonde hair, and a sharp pointed goatee. And he likes to wear sort of like rich, like blues and purples and things like that. His clothing isn't like super elaborate, but it's very neat and obviously of fine quality. So he comes out from the back room and sort of like steps up on, like the last time you talked to him at the counter, he had like a box or a steps or something that he, so his counter is at the height for like humans and stuff, and he just adjusts and goes up to meet you at eye level-ish. So he comes out and is like, "Oh, hello, it's been quite a while since I saw all of you, but welcome back into the shop. Fluvis says you need me to help you identify some potions." Well, you have come to the right place. I have quite the proclivity for potions, so what have you got?
Fletcher has them.
I do not remember what potions we're talking about.
So of the magic items,
inventory, I don't
Yeah,
have
of
anything
the
in my
magic
inventory
items-
that is unidentified.
I have that you have two
I was
potions.
like, I was
that
like,
you
Brian's
don't know
got
what they
this.
are.
yeah. So of the magic items, we decided that the potions were the least important for us to identify. So, and then Trinket was like, "Oh, Pops can probably identify them."
I have that you have
Is this still the clear smoky liquid and a golden brown liquid?
that. Yep.
Oh,
that's what
see,
you
I
have.
thought before that we had they weren't potions, like they were some other kind of, I don't know.
Oh no, those are potions. Yeah.
Just liqueurs.
Mm.
Yeah.
One of them is actually Malort. Anyway.
So yeah, I guess we passed those over.
Yeah, I'll set those two bottles down then.
Sure. Yeah, so Pop sort of like takes the stopper out of one and sort of like wafts it and swirls it a little bit and puts the stopper back in, does the same thing with the other one. And he says, "Oh, well, that was really simple. The first one, the sort of like smoky looking one, the swirling one, that is a potion of neutralized poison. And this really pretty sort of like golden brown one that's glowing a little bit. That one is a heroism potion.
What does that do?
As per the spell heroism, which I do not have in front of me right now. It does stuff. Good stuff.
Ooh. Oh, yee.
So yeah, that's what you got. Where'd you find those? That you didn't know what they were already.
In a temple, I think.
In a what now?
It was in a temple, right?
In the temple district?
No. When we were like adventuring, there's like these old temples that are like falling to pieces, but and it's complicated. But anyway, we went in a couple, and I think we found these in there.
Oh,
We're adventurers.
I gathered as much. Sounds interesting.
Very.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what you got. Can I help you with anything else today?
Cheryl, could you just repeat the name of the first one again?
Neutralize poison.
Neutralize poison.
Yeah.
That sounds probably very useful.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
Do we want to buy anything, like a couple healing potions or anything?
Yeah, how are
Probably.
healing potions?
Only if Cedric agrees to actually take them every now and then instead of just dying.
I
How many do
mean,
I have?
I have quite a few.
We redistributed some
Mm-hmm.
because Cedric doesn't use
Yeah.
them. Completely defeats
Oh.
the purpose
Well,
of having
I
potions.
would use them if you guys were hurt.
If you're not using your healing potions, I have a bunch of other potions that maybe you'd find more useful.
Like what?
I mean, I have potions of mage armor. I have an elixir of love. I have a potion of enlarged person. I have a potion of blur. One of dark vision. I have potions of resist energy.
Oh man, Fletcher should get the dark vision one. He's always having to bring a candle everywhere.
No, you can't see in the
No.
dark? Oh, yeah. It's so unfortunate that humans can't see in the dark.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you can see in the dark?
Yeah,
I
I
thought-
can see in the dark.
You're not a human. Oh, that's interesting. Neat.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
recently learned about my heritage in one of those temples. I'm this
Oh.
crazy person called a celestial, apparently. But I'm like not full
I'm
celestial,
sorry,
like
you're-
half celestial.
His judge dropped when you said
yeah.
celestial.
In the blue skin. It's cool, right?
No, you can't be telling people you're a celestial.
Why
no,
not?
no.
You tell people that you're a dwarf.
His eyes
Yeah,
are like
you're
bugging
not
out
a
of his
celestial,
head.
You're an Asimer. That's totally different.
I'm sorry, I'm an Asimar. The terminology is confusing. It's written in another language I didn't even know I could read until recently.
He's
Yeah.
like
So,
raising
I mean-
himself with both hands on the counter, like, oh, I was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean-
Also, like, maybe not like everybody should know that. I mean, I don't. Maybe it's your thing, but
Pops.
like, yeah, Pops seems
It's
like
me.
a very. Yes.
Oh, this is so hard. I have to like not tell people who I am, and I can't just tell people that you came back from the dead. Like, why is this?
Yeah, I'm
why
sorry,
can't I
what?
tell anything about anything?
She just said that out loud again.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
He's leaning
We
so far
probably-
on his stairs, like over the counter to look at you, Cedric. Like, he did what
Okay,
now?
okay. A lot of these things broke when the loss happened, and like they just don't happen anymore.
Then people should know that they can happen again. Wouldn't that like restore the faith of the people and the good God?
Not
like,
if we don't. But it can't just happen though.
Anyway, we should get Fletcher maybe a dark vision. I mean, only if he wants one, of course. But like this conversation is way too much about things I should not be saying and not things that maybe would help the party.
I'm not saying you shouldn't say these things, Kay. I'm just saying maybe think about them before you say them. It's something I've been meaning to mention for a while, that maybe you don't always have to provide all of the information at once whenever you interact with somebody. That's the end of the sentence.
But you always tell everyone everything you know about Moradin at once. How is it different?
Yeah, that's a subset of my total knowledge. I know lots of things about other things that I haven't told everybody yet. Like, Pops doesn't know that I know a lot of recipes for rat.
He can't eat rat anymore.
And that's another thing that I haven't told Pops yet. Since I've just met him for the second time just now. Maybe, but now he knows that I was dead.
Time, but yeah.
He knows that I was dead before knowing the fact that I don't eat animal meat anymore. Maybe the order of those should have been reversed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway. Hey, Fletcher, do you want any potions?
I just assume Fletcher is actually standing in the back shaking his head the same way Ryan is.
Yeah. Arms crossed. Just...
The potion of mage armor might be useful for some of you.
What does it do?
Does it... I thought it was just like armor for people who don't wear
armor.
No, it gives you like force armor that gives you an extra +4 armor bonus.
Yeah. Whoa! +4.
So you can drink that instead of me needing to do a touch spell on you in order to get that bonus.
Oh, how much is it?
The potion of mage armor is 50 gold, and it'll make you more protected for a whole hour.
Wow.
What is it for somebody who was dead before?
Also 50 gold.
Dang. Just thought that would be a cool little treat.
You think there's an undead discount?
Yeah, that's...
I'm not
honestly,
undead,
when you put it that way, I'm a little more skeeved out than I was before.
I am not undead. It is...
Are you sure?
I checked. Yes, I checked.
Are you all sure?
No.
No.
Oh.
I mean, he hasn't eaten us yet. And it happened a while ago.
He starts coming down off the stairs, he's mumbling something about, let me go see if I have any holy water around here somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I can make body water.
By definition, he was dead and now is no longer dead. He is undead.
He's not a zombie, though. Is that really the question at hand? We fought those.
Maybe post-dead? How's that? How does that feel for you guys? Just workshopping some ideas here.
Post muerte?
Post, yes.
Post Malone.
Yeah, sorry, I don't speak Elvish. I
don't speak Elvish.
Nautia, during all of this, Fluvis has sidled back up next to you and is like, your friends are really weird. Like, I know I like them, but like they're a lot.
Yeah. They had to learn some things out there to not die.
Sounds like it didn't go 100% successfully, though, huh?
No.
No, it didn't.
We're back up to 100%. He's back. Oh, we're missing Lucanus, though. Oh,
yeah, we're sitting.
Oh, yeah, you had that like tall guy with you, right?
Whatever.
A solid half of the group did die.
Yeah, we failed that twice. Yeah.
Okay, so Nadia's math skills are not great.
Had in 6. Of the original group, of the 4 people I met, 2 did die. One got better.
But you're part of the group now, Nadia.
Better.
Got better.
I feel happy.
Do you feel like we should pay Pops for identifying the things for us? I think it was kind of nice.
Well, hey, Pops.
Uh-huh.
Are you in the back?
I'm coming back. I couldn't find it. Yeah, what's up?
Do you charge your potion identification?
Oh, no, that's fine. It's on the house. You're good kids.
Thank you.
Not
Thanks,
a problem.
friend.
We do want a potion of mage armor, though.
Okay, yeah, no problem. That's 50 gold.
Dad.
I'm buying that for somebody, or I'm keeping it, so I don't have to cast a spell to give myself armor.
I feel like you hanging on to it is a very good and responsible idea.
Thanks, Dad.
Sort of for the same reason you're hanging on to the gold.
Oh, man. Yeah.
At least the NPC interacts are never boring. Because they're never like, we just want to go to the shop.
All right, are we heading out?
Yeah,
y'all done?
Probably. We probably caused enough emotional damage for one day.
Yeah, that's probably everything we're getting here.
Apparently and she looks at Fluvius, a lot. So
Hey, I didn't say a lot was bad. Sorry, that's the wrong voice. Hey, I didn't say a lot was bad. I just said you were a lot. I like a lot. I mean,
I do too.
I like fun.
Not
You're
boring.
fun. You're weird. You're fun. You're amusing. It's a lot, but I like it.
thanks.
Nice.
Nautia, he's gonna like pull you to the side as your friends are leaving and whisper something to you that I am going to message you in Discord.
And by the way, heroism, the spell that in the potion we just got, you drink it and you will get +2 morale bonus to your attack rolls, save rolls, and skill checks.
That's right.
It says 10 minutes
an
per
hour?
level, so I'm not sure how that works with a potion. If it's 10 minutes per level of the person who drank it?
No, it would be per level of the caster because it's like as the spell. So what does the spell say for level for casters? For the
It's a bard level 2, wizard level 3 spell. So if it's coming from Pops and he's a wizard, would he have made it as a level 3?
Yeah, so he would have. Yeah, so it would have been a level 3 spell for him. So you can start casting.
30
levels.
minutes.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
So yeah, so he would have made it to give it to you for 30 minutes then.
Cool. You can hold on to those, Fletcher?
Yep, I got him. I stole them all back in my bag.
Excellent.
Nice.
You know, if you want to put stuff in our new bag of holding, I know carrying around all of that gold can be a lot. And you have those tiny little human arms. So, you know, if you want, just say it. Also, I appreciate the fact that you've been carrying our gold around for the last month.
Yeah, I think I'll keep track of our money.
I acknowledge and appreciate you.
Aww.
Seconded.
Also, did you know that Fluvius was a Mephit? Because I didn't know that he was a Mephit.
I never thought about it.
I was just talking to Fletcher.
Well, no, when we've been here before, I had immediately just taken him to being a water elemental. He looks very similar to an elemental, and so not having
Right?
tried to just figure it out and just being in the shop, it makes sense that Nautia is the one who really recognized him as a Mephit.
Sure. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, now I feel less bad about not knowing that he was. So, yeah, cool.
I'm enjoying Cindy's suspicious faces.
He looks like water, like not having really paid attention. It was like,
Yeah.
he looks far more like elementally than what I would think of as a Mephit, I guess.
Yeah. Nautia doesn't look like that.
And probably have only ever, probably I've seen more elementals than I have seen Mephits in, what we were doing, in the university. So seeing him like that, I would have been like, oh, elemental.
It's like a very small elemental.
Yeah.
They make small ones, or they make small ones. Small ones exist.
I guess
Yeah.
they're small ones.
Yeah.
I guess I just
I am
always
the
picture
spirit of
elementals
this
as being more
puddle.
sort of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like amorphous and less
Yeah.
clearly sentient.
Downspout.
More,
Elemental.
elemental.
I am the master of this bird bath.
I love that though. Come on, that's adorable.
I love it too.
All right. So you're leaving Bubble and Fizz. What are you doing now? Yes, actually, now is a great time to go on break. Let's do that as we're swapping what the party's doing. Thank you so much to everyone who's been hanging out. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for spending your channel points to give them a second chance on a check or a save if they need it. Don't know what they might need it for. But
We
you never
will
know.
always need it. Yes.
They will always need it. Thank you for sticking around for all of the chaos. But yeah, we're gonna go on break and we'll be back real soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hello. We're back. We're back as we
Back
can
and
be.
even more weird.
I mean, it keeps going. By the time we
That
hit
was
level 20,
incredible
we won't
phase.
even be on a Zoom call anymore.
Communicating mind to mind.
Yep. Hey, we're back. We got a break. I hope you took a break and enjoyed it. But now we're back for more story. So you all are leaving Bubble and Fizz. And I don't know where you're headed next, but you can tell me.
Well, guys, we haven't really talked about where we're headed next.
I mean, I guess we're going to that volcano at some point.
Okay, right, but I meant like right now today.
Oh, yeah. No, what else do you need to do in
Don't we need to-
town?
Talk to I don't remember his name. He was like kind of crazy person who was like, tell us about your adventure stuff and we can pay you money for telling you about the stuff you saw.
Casper.
Yeah,
What one?
I believe is who you're
Casper.
talking about.
Yeah.
The
Casper at
friendly
the
nerd.
academy.
The friendly nerd.
That's what I said.
The friendly
Thanks
nerd.
for that.
Casper, the friendly nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't even been to the academy since we've gotten back.
Yeah, I feel like we should tell them, especially about like the giant flower thorns that are like waiting to kill civilians just outside the wall. Like they might want to know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff they probably want to know about. We haven't been there since the grand opening thing.
Oh yeah, well maybe it's still awesome.
I mean, I assume it's still open at least. Are we the only adventurers here? Do you think they've sent out any adventurers? Like since
We haven't been there or really talked to Casper to know. I'm sure they have their own crew. They must be sending people out. But I'd be surprised if anyone has. We didn't come across anybody, so I don't know if they were as far flung as we were.
I mean, it's a big continent. I mean, that jungle's thick. I mean, you could pass by somebody like 50 feet away from you. You wouldn't even know.
I'm interested to know what they've done with the last information we gave them.
Yeah, we haven't really talked to them since we talked to Casper about the Evixians. Everybody down for a adventure?
Recap?
A trip to the Adventure Zone?
Yeah.
The Adventure Zone.
Yeah, Fletcher has his book with all the pictures and drawings and stuff. He has it. Oh, we could show him the picture of us on top of the mountain. I'm sure they'd love that too.
I mean,
Kay has no idea how
yeah,
academia works.
I want to find out about more of what they are most interested in, and then I'll probably spend time going through all of my notes to pull out, to make a report for them in order to give them information they're interested in so we can get paid for it. I don't really want to just let him look over all of the notes that I've taken.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine doing all that work, writing up all of your research, and then just like giving it away for free and not getting paid for it? What a waste that would be.
Yeah, right?
My gosh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be
Or
even weirder
having
if
to
you had to pay?
Yeah.
Or having to pay to give your information to somebody.
Ah.
You paid to get the information.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then imagine if you wrote it in such a way that no one could actually understand what you wrote.
Okay, but I don't do that part, so.
Okay, so we're going to talk about academic publishing now. Everybody?
Boy. Are we doing it now or later?
Do we have that kind of time? Do we have that kind of time?
No.
We have that kind of emotional bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you are headed to the Academy of Explorers headquarters building thing.
Is that what it's called?
Maybe not that whole part, but It's definitely the building that belongs to the Academy of Explorers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you leave the Market District and travel to the Entertainment District. Because if you remember, the building for the Academy of Explorers is near the theater.
Cool.
And you know that because some of you investigated a murder there a super duper long time ago.
Bruce Wayne's parents.
Which one is it on the map?
Oh shoot, hold on.
Yes, we did.
Number 43, the Office of the Royal Academy of Explorers. Number 43.
All right.
In the Entertainment District. Yeah, so as a reminder, this is, it's not a huge building, but sort of a modest size with a red brick exterior, green wooden shutters around the windows, and a broad green double door, and a tile roof, and they have real glass windows. And there's a balcony on the front of the building at the second floor, and on the inside, you remember from when you were there for the party, it's got beautiful hardwood flooring on the inside. It's a very nice, very expensive building.
Is it local tropical hardwood?
That is a great question. I think they imported everything from Tenebria.
Oh,
Would
okay.
Cedric know?
Yeah, would Cedric know anyway?
No. Nope. If it's not made out of Zerk wood, I don't think Cedric knows what it is.
Zerkwood?
Is that just a 5th edition thing? It's like the Underdark. It's like a mushroom wood that everything is made out of in the Underdark.
Oh. I mean, it could be a thing in 3.5, and I just don't know of it. But there are many, many books for this version, and I have not read all of them all the way through. All right, so you make your way across town to get to that building. And?
Is there anybody outside, or can we just go in?
There's nobody outside, but, the doors are there.
I guess we just go in?
Just go in then.
Okay.
Nobody's, yeah.
So inside, and you remember a little of this, although it's slightly rearranged because, you went in for a party. Like, there's sort of like a foyer. It's a big room, though, because remember there was, like, a food table and, like, a piano and stuff in here. But there's, like, some comfortable, like, upholstered furniture in here and a fireplace and stuff. And sitting on the comfortable upholstered furniture are a pair of young men, one with darker skin and cornrows that go down into a ponytail, and the other one has, like, Gilderoy Lockhart looks, so, blonde hair, blue eyes, all that jazz. And when you open the door, the blonde one sort of, like, looks up and looks over at all of you. Are you all coming inside?
Yes. And
Yeah.
Cedric says knock knock as he opens the door.
Wonderful. So the blonde one, like, turns his head as you all come in through the door, and then he locks eyes with Kay and gets up out of his chair and comes over and grabs your hand and gives you a kiss on the back of the hand and says, "It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. My name is Benedict Hawkins. Welcome to the Royal Academy of Explorers office here in New Sagester. How can I help all of you?" And then he looks at Fletcher and is like, "Oh my goodness, I met you at the party. That was such a long time ago. Where have you been, old chap? Welcome in again. Have you been out? You said you were going adventuring. Is that where you were all of this time?"
Has he let go of my hand yet?
No. Yes.
Well, it's certainly nice to meet you too. We have all been adventuring, and Fletcher is here to report his findings.
Yeah, we actually came in to speak to Casper. He's who we've talked to about this before and made a sort of an arrangement with him.
Oh, of course. Yes, he's in charge. You all went out adventuring? That's fascinating. Where did you go? Rex and I have been traveling in the eastern grasslands where the goat people live. Really interesting stuff. And as he's continuing to talk, eventually he notices Nautia in the mix and stops, like, in the middle of what he's saying and is like, "Oh my goodness.
Has he let go of my hand yet?
I thought you pulled it out.
No, I was kind of like,
oh yeah, you can pull. I mean, he's not like grappling you. You can pull it out. He just hadn't like voluntarily let go. But yeah, he looks at Nautia and is like, "That is so interesting. Where did you find it?"
her name is Nautia,
Oh.
and she went adventuring with us. She helped us fix the river.
Well, you are just the most eclectic group of adventurers I've ever met. That's wonderful. Nice to meet you, Nautia. My name is Benedict.
Hey.
And I'm Cedric.
Oh, hello. Yes, I don't think were you at the party? Are you friends with... He doesn't remember your name. But are you friends with this old boy? Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you went out adventuring together. That's really wonderful. We do need to explore this continent, so we better understand where it is we're living. And all of this chaos is, he's not talking quietly. And the other man is just sort of like sitting and watching the conversation with his arms folded, like... but there's a sorry. Ooh, too many tabs. There we go. So another door opens as Benedict is continuing to talk, which I don't feel like doing. And a short woman with sort of like long, not tied back at all, copper-colored hair, opens a door and comes striding out into the room. She's short, but like she obviously, she carries herself with, a presence. And she comes up to Benedict and is like, "Benedict, what are you doing? Why are you bothering these nice people?" And he's just like, "Oh, but we're friends. I had met this person at the party that we had when the building opened. It was so long ago now, and they told me that they went out adventuring as per Casper's request." And she just looks at all of you and is like, "Did I hear you say something about wanting to speak to Casper?"
4 silent nods.
Be like, yes, please.
You can come with me. Benedict, could you please not be quite so loud anymore? It's very difficult to get work done in here when you're doing that. And she just like turns around and marches like back through the big room and like towards some of the offices in the back.
Kay turns to her Naughty. She's like, "Am I like that? Is that what I do to other people?"
Oh, it's different, and I can't say how.
Okay. Kay is suddenly feeling very self-aware and is very quiet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Cedric falls back and is like, "I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have ever called the Abixians just goat people."
Goat people, yeah, that was not great.
Not great. I mean, sure, I maybe said the same thing before people told me what they were called, but I mean, like, once somebody has said like, "Hey, I'm not just like a scorpion person, I have like a whole thing," then you kind of remember that, right?
It's kind of
Just
basic.
been calling Gary a mushroom this whole time. And she just like gets quiet.
Oh.
Yeah, but between that and I mean, how he referenced you, Nautia,
You
I'm
never called me
hesitant.
it.
Yeah, I'm a little. I think before we give Casper any information, we should try to find out more of what they've been doing out in the grasslands where he said they've been, because
Yeah.
it might be. We might not want to give them. We might want to be very selective about the things we tell them in order to get money from them.
Yeah, if he's a representative of the kind of adventures they have here. I mean, kind of abrasive and overeager, right?
So Vivian has been sort of like leading you all, and she sort of like stops in the hall once you're like out of this main room and is like, "I'm definitely not trying to listen in, but I do have to apologize for Benedict. He's a lot, and not in the best way either. But I'm like to let you know that not all of us are like that. I'm very interested in learning in a way that's maybe a bit more respectful and calm. But yes, Casper is in here, and she just sort of like lightly raps on the door and opens it and sticks her head in and says, Casper, there are some people here to see you. And then she just sort of like leaves the door open and walks back to her office. And he is sitting behind a desk with lots of stuff on it. Looks like maps and things.
And we did not get her name, did we?
I don't think she did introduce herself to you.
She didn't say anything. Okay.
Casper, you've been here like a month and it's already a mess in here.
Actually, I've been here for more like, I would say 2 at this point, I suppose. It's been just that long since I saw all of you last. Welcome back. I assume that this means you've been out exploring the continent in the meantime.
Yep.
Is there something wrong?
No.
No, we've been to many places on the continent, and we're just coming to check in. You'd offered payment for information from out in the world across Arda, and just to learn more of what you might be most specifically interested in, and I can create a report of relevant information for exchange.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Yes, very glad to hear. And he sort of stops and like looks at all of you a little more closely. He's like, aren't you missing someone?
Yes.
They volunteered themselves as tribute to protect an ancient temple and for the long term.
Oh, well, that's very interesting. And, hello, you appear to be a new member of the group, I take it?
Yes, hi. I'm Nautia.
Oh, it's wonderful to meet you. My name is Casper Reed.
Hi, Casper.
Yes.
We found her in the jungle. She helped us fix the river.
Oh, is that where you went? You went into the jungles on the western side?
And the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And the mountains.
There's a desert.
Yeah.
Oh.
And a grassland.
Yeah.
And the grasslands.
Yes, to the east of the city.
Here's another one.
There's one on the other side too.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, you've been
It
all over.
Yeah.
That's exactly the sort of information that I personally am most interested in. I am, by trade, a cartographer, so of course I'm most interested in the layout of the land, especially things like landmarks, particularly noteworthy mountains or some such the bodies of water and the rivers and such. But just knowing the different ecosystems that exist on the continent is also interesting, because then we get into things that other people are motivated by, like the presence of different resources or plants and animals that we haven't come across anywhere else in the world. So yes, all of those things are things that I'm interested in hearing about. And you said an ancient temple. That sounds like the sort of landmark that we could put on the maps, and perhaps an anthropologist would like to go out and do some research there and dig around and see what they can find.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know where half those words are, but sure.
Does
Does it matter that part of the river's underground?
There's a subterranean portion of the river.
Yeah, that's where the bad stuff was coming from.
That's where the bad
Oh.
stuff was coming. So the regular river was fine up until a certain point, and then it was like really bad. But Nautia can swim underwater, and so she found that there was an underground part.
That is fascinating. Normally we don't put groundwater on maps. However, if it's an extremely important artery, perhaps I would make some sort of notation on there so that we would know that's where it was, especially since you say there was some sort of contamination coming out of that underground source.
Yeah, there was a mine. We blew it up though, so it shouldn't cause any more problems.
A mine?
Yeah, a naturally occurring mine full of poisonous chemicals.
A naturally occurring mine. Do you mean a cavern?
Yes,
cave.
that's what she means. She does not.
Oh.
She doesn't understand underground terminology. Yes,
It's true.
So-
I don't understand underground term. I'm not a
It
dwarf,
was-
so like.
It was a cavern in the ground where the source of the water was coming, presumably from deeper down in some kind of aquifer, and then flowing through
Yeah,
the
it was
ground
coming
to
through
the
there,
main
but
river.
like there was some bad stuff in there, and Fletcher fixed it. And then we-
Fletcher or Cedric, you can give me a bluff check plus
Uh-huh.
2 because the group is helping you.
Ryan.
Ryan, please roll that.
Do you
Do you
want
think I'm any better at that?
You don't
Charisma?
consistently roll under 5.
yeah.
There
My
is an
charisma
advantage.
is -1.
Okay, all right, fine.
I mean, like,
But
theoretically, I'd be the
alright.
best
Oh
at
my
one thing, but I
God!
already just told the
We
truth.
have
What did you just
Reroll.
roll?
Did-
What did
did-
you just roll?
Did somebody redeem a reroll?
Yes.
Somebody did redeem a reroll.
Yes.
Can I use
What
it?
did you? Yes. What did you roll?
I'll tell you what I reroll. Oh my god, no! I rolled 2 6s.
Which brings you to a total of.
No, that's total.
Oh, that is the
This
total.
yeah, 2
Qui-Gon
5s.
has redeemed another.
Do you want me to roll?
I mean, Cedric has already started the rolling process, so there is another reroll if you want it.
So there's no assist because we're both currently
That's what the
doing
plus
the
2
bluffing.
is. That's what the
Yeah,
plus
Oh, that's
2
the
is
plus
from.
2.
Plus
Yeah,
2
yeah,
is
you
from
don't get
Cedric,
advantage in 3
No,
5.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Qui-Gon.
Mhm.
Okay. Still not good, but 11 total.
Okay. Interesting. What is your charisma modifier?
+1.
Okay. Then he appears to be buying your story. Proceed.
Great.
So theoretically, these would be the kinds of things I could write up into a report to deliver to you, and hopefully our negotiation still stands for payment for these discoveries as we make them across the continent.
Oh, yes, of course. Absolutely.
And of course, what we've said already weren't freebies. I'll include those in the report to be part of the payment.
Of course. Yes, but yes, a formal report would make our lives much easier. It would make Vivian's and my sifting through the information a lot easier to handle, and everyone else who works here as well. Yes, I would love to read your report of your adventures and what you've found. And then, yes, of course, as we negotiated ever so long ago when we first met, I'd be happy to pay you for the information as well.
Would there perhaps be a quiet place located in the academy somewhere that I could work to form this report? The other texts or reports you have on site could help me just make connections and produce something slightly more useful than annotations or notes.
Oh, yes, of course. We do have a library, if that's the sort of thing you're looking for. I'm sure Philippa, and he sort of calls, and a moment later, there's a sort of middle-aged woman with mousy brown hair, sort of sticks her head in the door and is like, yes? And he says, Philippa, could you clear out one of the extra office spaces so that Fletcher can work on his scholarly pursuits in there. And she nods her head and just sort of walks off to do that. And so he's like, yes, there's a library at your disposal, and Philippa will clear out an office for you so that you can do your work here where it's nice and quiet and controlled rather than trying to work in, I don't know, I didn't get nearly as much work done when I was sitting in the marked bird as I have since I got my own office, so...
I completely feel you there. That's where I've been trying to do most of my work while I've been in New St. Chester.
Ah, well, yes, then the office space will probably be of great use to you. Yes, absolutely. And I will make sure that Philippa gives you a key to the building so that you can come in and work, even if it's after hours and the doors are locked for security. That way you can work on your report whenever it suits you.
Very, very generous of you, Casper. Thank you so much.
Well, not at all, not at all. I do love fostering a sense of adventure in younger folks, so to see all of you go out on an adventure, come home safely, and with lots of stories to tell, that just warms my heart.
Well, then I suppose I'll be back around tomorrow to begin working on this. Would things be ready by then?
Oh, yes, Philippa's very, yes, she's very efficient, and also we haven't been here quite long enough for us to really accumulate much of a mess, so hopefully there will be an office ready for you in no time at all.
That's not spoken like a true academic. They fill their offices with shit immediately.
Yep. I mean,
they drag everything from their last 5 postdocs and shove it in a new office.
I mean, you didn't ask if he was lying or not.
Yeah.
Kay just looks around his office and takes a mental note.
Oh yeah, there's stacks. There are maps hung on the walls nicely, but then there are also stacks of maps and scrolls of paper and books and all kinds of crazy stuff in this room. There's some, I don't know if Kay would know what they are, but cartographical instruments, compasses and sextants and all that jazz in here. So yeah, and many pencils.
Are any of the maps that are up clearly Arda?
No.
Are they here?
No.
They're all other places. Okay. Just curious if there's anything that Naughty would actually be able to recognize at this point.
Yeah, no, he does not have a map of Arda, at least not prominently displayed anywhere that you can see.
Okay.
We're probably done. I guess we just say our goodbyes then, and
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Yep. Thank you for your time.
Not at all.
and we'll head outside.
As we go out, as we step out of the building, I'm gonna turn to Fletcher and say, "So you're gonna follow up on what they've been doing stuff tomorrow?"
Yeah,
the whole Dixian grassland thing.
I imagine in the library they'll have their documentation of what all of the members of their association have been doing out there, based on after our original report. So since I'll be able to have access to all of that, I'll be able to review those things on my own while I'm in there, and we'll find out. I won't even begin writing the report until I can find out a little bit more of what they may have been doing or not been doing out there.
Yeah, I think I'd like to know. Yeah, I'd like to know what they've been doing. Just, give people over on the other side a little bit of a heads up if maybe we should be worried about them.
Works for me.
And it's always easy to leave things out of a report so they can't find certain specific things.
But also, if they're not doing too bad, then, maybe we can tell people that it's okay to help them. But, if they're a problem, then that's something else.
We could send them to the temple with a great crazy ghost lady that can just, take care of the problem for us.
Okay, that's a bit harsh, Kay. I feel like
tell them to go check out those cool red birds.
Oh yeah, those cool red birds.
Okay, that's a pretty good prank.
There's a lot of stuff over there that could cause some problems for him.
Those red parrots are going to be a thing with this group literally forever.
They pretty much one-shotted the whole party.
They kicked their ass.
Yeah.
It was great. I did not know they would do that.
I suppose if
very memorable introduction.
If we discover they're up to no good, Nautia, you probably have a lot of local knowledge. Maybe you and Fletcher could co-write a report or something.
Yeah?
On the jungles. I don't know. Just spitballing here. I don't know how to write a report, so I just assume it's just writing a bunch of stuff down, right?
And I can tell them about stuff.
Yeah, just whatever pops in your head. Just
I
write
don't even know.
Like what everything that's happened to you in the last 100 years or whatever since the loss.
It's a lot of time to cover.
Sure.
You want Nautia to try to write a 100-year autobiography?
Yep.
How hard can it be?
I imagine for Nautia very hard.
In 6.
It'll be a gripping read that'll sweep the nation.
You never know. How many water methods do you think have written autobiographies? It might be a bestseller.
I was also going to say something about the quality of some of the stuff that's been bestsellers. So.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, popular literature aside.
What now? What time of day is it?
Probably like midday?
Yeah, noon? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably like midday.
Is there anything else we wanted to take care of?
I mean, if we don't have anything else going on, I mean, I kind of I was gonna, drop a temple or something like that, but we have something else that we need to do, like some more shopping or something like that.
No, I feel like you can go to the temple.
Okay. I mean, or like people.
Do you want anyone to go with you?
No, I'm would be good. Yeah, I was just thinking if you guys needed me to come with you to like.
No, we're good. I mean, we're probably not going to get hurt in town.
Probably.
I mean, the most damage that's been done so far, I've done to us, so maybe I should go home.
But I mean, maybe you need me for moral support or something like that. I don't know, Cave. You have to do more like apologies to local townsfolk or something. You need.
I mean, I could help my parents out at the shop. You know, they probably need some help. I'm guessing.
Okay, cool. You guys don't need me. All right, fine. I guess I'll go to the temple.
You need to go.
You said you didn't want anyone to come with you.
Oh no! I don't. No, I don't. No, I'm fine to go to the temple. I love going to the temple. No, I just wanted to make sure you guys didn't need me for anything.
I mean, you should definitely go
Why
check
are you
in,
acting
right?
so weird?
I'm not acting weird. You're acting weird.
Right? Okay.
Have fun selling wheat or whatever it is you do at your shop. Bye. See you guys later.
You don't sell wheat. You trade it for sheep.
Was all of that weirdly passive aggressive?
Yes.
You pick up on all of that.
Like,
I have no
And
idea
then
what
Cedric
just
was like,
happened.
"Don't come with me. You don't need me." What? You don't need me?
like, what do you want from me, bro? What's wrong? Like, what do you need to talk about?
I'm gone now.
I
I said bye and left.
Should we follow him? Is he okay?
Should we? I was just thinking the same thing.
I mean, Nautia, it would probably be easiest for you to tail him because you could fly up or hide behind things. You're smaller. I feel like
could
you
run after
notice
him on the
all of us
rooftops.
following him.
Yeah,
If it was
Kay
all
knows the
three of
city
us?
real well. I mean, we could.
That's true, Kay. Yeah, you could. You know how to like blind corners and places to hide to watch him.
Is that wrong? I feel so conflicted.
I'm worried.
I'm also worried.
That was real weird.
It was real weird, right? I mean, I
Maybe
knew
we
I
should-
fucked
yeah.
things up in there, but I didn't think I did that bad. Did I do that bad, Fletcher?
I might not have told him so much for free at the start, or tell him where a mine was that was causing problems. Because knowing what I know about where I come from, people might want that, and they could cause the same problem again because they would go in there and do that.
Yeah, because
Oh, but
like
it said that you blew it up, though. So, like, probably.
They
they
could-
would. They could, but
take it
there
back
was still
out,
stuff down there that they could get
Find
at.
more.
Mm-hmm.
They could
It's
go
like-
into the mountains and find
So
places.
so just draw a map and put it somewhere else random.
It's either that or I'm just going to not include it.
Okay,
I'm a
I
little
mean,
worried. Knowing, like I said, knowing these people and where I'm from, he even mentioned they were interested in resources that could be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, people are really just about the resources.
And they would do like Mafok did.
Yeah,
Oh.
and probably a lot more than he did because they would send a whole band of people to go operate mines.
I mean, like,
guess I just
you
assumed
see
that
how-
they would do it better, I guess, because they're not like some shady dwarf trying to kill people in the middle of the desert.
it's just that like
They look
you see
nicer.
you see how the city's built, and it's
Yeah, what's
just
wrong
like
with it?
totally
It's great, isn't it? Like,
Well-
I mean, like that wall over there could probably use a hug, and like, yeah, maybe that like couple of the buildings kind of suck, but I mean, like, I
But
don't
like
know,
you
it's all
can't
right.
see the real place anymore. Like all the people over on the other side of the river, they don't build like this.
Well, we can't like live in trees, and we need the tree wood to like make a house, right? So like, it makes sense that you would
Well,
like have a
like-
little clearing for like your house.
But like the tents, and then like some of them lived in tents, and some of them lived in, you know, like mounds that were dug out, and they mostly left the ground around it.
Yeah, but wasn't that uncomfortable? I mean, like camping was great and all, but I was like going back and sleeping in a real bed, that was clutch.
I mean, like it's just sort of a choice, you know? Like I sleep in trees just fine, but other people
You can also
prefer
breathe
beds.
underwater. You're like kind of magical and superpower like
Yeah, but
not in
like,
a bad way. It's just like you're badass. So of course you could like sleep in a tree and be comfortable and be awesome. But like I don't think I could sleep in a tree.
I'm just saying
I could try it just for you. I'd try it once.
you might like it. But also it's just sort of a decision, you know? Like
Yeah. Interesting. I guess I hadn't like I mean, I guess I haven't ever this was the first time I've been outside, so I guess I like didn't think about it.
I mean,
the
like-
town has like always been here. I can't even think about what might have been here otherwise.
do I remember what was here before? It was more like
Um,
grasslands and typical coast, right?
Yeah.
Like what's outside the walls, basically,
Yeah,
was
basically.
would have been here.
The
Mhm.
fort itself is on kind of like a bit of a rocky promontory, but like yeah, most of where the city is was just grassland, like there is around it. Yeah.
I didn't spend a lot of time over here, but I kind of remember what it looked like before the fort.
And what was it like?
It was just like grass and
So it's just grass.
and
So what's
rock.
the problem?
but like stuff
Well,
lives in
they-
the grass.
People like the people we met could have lived here. This could have been a place they found food. It could have been a place that was important that had something like a temple on it that
Oh.
was taken because there might have been these resources here that
But
they
that
just
wasn't
wanted
my
to
fault.
take
Like
and
I didn't
build.
kick them off the land.
I
Nobody
didn't say
said
it was
there
your fault.
was.
I'm just saying that the same people that built this city, or the same kind of people that built this city, could also try to
Oh.
go out there and do stuff.
Okay, so we're worried that the people who built this city are going to go like where Gary lives, for example, and then move them and destroy their home.
In order to make another city, but get all the resources and everything that are around that city. And they could do
Mhm.
that in the jungle, and they could do that in the
Oh.
mountains, and
If
they
they
could
decide
do that.
there's something there that they value more than the jungle,
Oh, I see. I did.
That's
fuck
why
it
we
up.
have to be
I'm
really
sorry.
careful.
I guess. I mean, I didn't. I guess I didn't think about it. I guess.
That's okay. We haven't told him anything about where it really was. It would be very hard for them to find it, and we'll be very
I will
selective
not
about what
talk
we write
next
down.
time. I will let you do the talking.
Well, luckily, the next thing should just be the report I hand him. So we'll be very selective about what we say.
You should tell us what you put in the report so I'm not stupid and say too much.
Well, we can all read it. Definitely.
Okay.
You took notes too. Maybe you can help with the report.
Oh, I mean, Fletcher's way smarter than I am, so I don't think he really wants my help.
Maybe you noticed something he
maybe
didn't.
helped enough for forever.
I can use I can use your notes while I'm writing it.
Really? And she like brightens up and like pulls her notebook out of her backpack.
You never know what you could have noticed that I didn't. That maybe something we could let them know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to help. Also, weren't we supposed to be following Cedric? I just imagine.
Yeah, I think we kind of missed that window.
Yeah, I think we kind of missed that window too.
You did too.
We debated
right?
so long about whether we should or not that we just didn't.
But the audience, we can follow Cedric. Cedric, where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm going to the temple.
Which temple?
The Temple of Moradin.
There are multiple temples of Moradin.
The real Temple of Moradin.
Going back to visit Hammer Gravel Tank. Okay. So you head to the Orthodox Church of Moradin. Head on into this very large, imposing, I don't know if severe is the right word. Austere. There we go. Austere.
Brutalist.
Brutalist. Yes, it's an austere brutalist stone building. So you head inside. There's like, as with many churches in the middle of the afternoon, there's like one or two people hanging out, sitting in pews doing their thing individually. And the hammer is up at the front, sort of flipping through what you presume to be the holy book.
Excuse me.
The burp echoes through the church. No.
I mean, it's a dwarf church. It wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, I'm going to... I walk up to the altar and I say, Hammer, might I have a word?
Of course, my son. How can I help you?
In private, maybe? Is there a place we can talk?
Oh, yes, of course. So he leads you to sort of like a little ante room off to the side. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me. We met a while back when I first.
Yes, I think I remember. You came into you've been into the temple once, and I think we also spoke at. There was a party a while ago.
Yeah, the Adventurers House
yes,
or whatever it's called. I've been out traveling with a group of adventurers, and I've had some experiences that I would like to discuss with a fellow devotee of Moradin. I think I just need another perspective to give me some insight into some experiences that I have had. I've been traveling with someone who I believe has been touched by the gods, and may play an important role in undoing the loss. It's a weighty responsibility, and I think for anyone to carry. I I guess I'm looking for guidance on how best to support someone in a God-given task like that. I don't know. I don't know how to best to be an ally. I haven't been very good up to this point. In fact, in trying to protect this person, I actually died, and which, you know, in the long run is makes protecting her a lot more difficult. So I feel like I failed there. I know that Moradin is forging me in a crucible that is removing my weaknesses. I just sometimes I feel like I don't know what shape, what tool he's forging me into. I don't know what task I'm best suited for. I don't even know what I want. I don't even know what I want you to tell me. I feel confused. I have felt during the last couple of months closer to Moradin than I ever have in my entire life. More almost intangibly touching the gods in ways that I thought wouldn't even be possible during the loss, and also at times so removed and so cut off from them that my powers didn't work. I couldn't cast magic. I couldn't turn back undead. I know now in a much more deep way how cut off we are from the gods, and I guess I'm struggling to know, is this even part of Moradin's plan? Is the loss part of his divine vision for us? Is this, am I being forged, or am I cut and adrift and seeking meaning when there is none?
That is quite the confession, my son. It seems you have indeed endured some trials. As to your last question about being cut off and whether or not the loss is part of Moradin's plan, you know that sometimes the smith closes the door of the forge in order to let the interior heat and melt metal and make things. So, I choose to interpret the loss as a moment like this. The smith will come and reopen the door at some point, and we will be shaped as he sees fit. Your admission of dying is very concerning, though. You stand before me whole, and I sense no undead or evil aura from you. How has this come to pass?
I wouldn't believe it if I were you. I wouldn't have believed it had it not happened to me. This person that I'm traveling with, they used a connection that I do not quite understand, and an ancient rite in a temple lost to time, far away from here. Many weeks' journey into the mountains to reunite my soul with my body. I was lost in, perhaps I should give you some more information. I remember
the
being
mountains here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not a dwarven temple.
No.
And this person who saved you is not a dwarf.
Not a dwarf. No. I believe they're one of the god touched, one of the Aasimar.
Does Peter remember a lot about this character?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to remind me of something?
No, I just wanted to know if you remembered interacting with him before. So he's frowning very deeply at all of this and is like, that is very concerning. Not that I begrudge you your life, of course, but to be touched by other lesser gods in that way is very concerning.
Let me clarify. I was touched by no gods. I died. I went to a cavern, and the step forward, the pathway to the divine forge was broken. There was no closed forge door. There was no gateway that had been sealed off. There was a broken stairway. Not the kind of craftsmanship I would expect from Moradin.
Well, perhaps that is what you saw because you were not being guided by those associated with the great smith. As unfortunate as it,
True. Perhaps I was stuck in some kind of in-between place and met no guidance. I was trapped there with other dwarves. It was not just me. Our teachings do not speak of a in-between place, a holding place, a place where souls rot and drift away into nothingness. I can only speak to my soul. This is my experience. And I was called back into my body by a connection that my companions had with me.
All of these things you're saying concern me deeply, and you are, as I remember from our brief interactions previously, a nice young dwarf, a cleric of Moradin yourself, yes? I would hate to see you continue to share these thoughts with others and experience repercussions of speaking against what we all know to be the truth of our faith.
That is why I asked to speak with you in private. I'm trying to reconcile my experiences with what I have always believed, what my faith tells me is true. If you had experienced what I experienced, how would you move forward?
I think I would be striving to remove the contaminations that seem to have come with this alloy ship and return myself to the fold to find my way closer to Moradin and his fire. I would be happy to help you on this journey, my son, if you would like help.
I appreciate that very much. I will need to pray on this. But your words have been quite valuable to me.
A wise answer.
And I appreciate you listening.
Of course.
And I appreciate your honesty.
That is, after all, what we are here for.
The truth. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Thank you.
He sort of nods, and you can leave the anteroom if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
Okay. Are you leaving the church? Are you hanging out and praying for a while?
Yeah, I am going to leave the anteroom and spend some time in prayer. And then after about an hour, leave.
Okay. Is there anything specific Cedric thinks or says in his prayer that I should know about?
No.
Okay. So eventually you leave the Church of Moradin and head back through the Temple District, I assume, to the Market District to find your friends, or are you going somewhere else?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going back to the Mark Burr to have several drinks after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll be there or not, but that's where I'm going to drink.
Friends, where were you for the last hour and 15 minutes or so when he was gone?
Probably after our conversation, I would have. I mean, it was lunchtime. I probably would have wanted to go back and eat. Honestly,
Mhm.
I don't know if everybody else felt the same way. Kay might have gone home.
Yeah, I feel like I would have
eat.
gone home to see if my family needed anything from me, and then whenever I was done with the evening stuff, headed over for evening dinner with the friends, hang out with the Leons.
Sounds good.
Yeah, then I guess I'd probably go do lunch with Fletcher.
Sounds like a date.
Not wanting to impose.
Let's do lunch.
But it's probably like I'm at the table, Nautia's sitting down at like the other like
Yeah.
end eating, because the rest of the table I have my notes and Kay's notes like spread out, starting to try to look through things.
Yeah.
Kay has a lot of pictures in hers. It's a lot of drawings.
I think
Those are useful.
Nautia would probably, as far as she could get, as far as being involved with those notes, would probably be like sort of trying to match Fletcher's things to Kay's.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of a little matching, like, is this the same thing? Is this the same thing? May not actually be correct at all, but
Well, that works. Yeah, so when are you all meeting back up? You said like dinner time-ish? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
Cedric would have shown up.
Yeah, like
Before
Yeah, I guess-
mid-afternoon.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
mid-afternoon,
Okay.
he like sits down, like pushes like the like some of like a 2 stacks like aside, and like clumps down like 2 beers, and it's just like, hey, how's it been going?
I mean, that was a couple hours of work, but it's been going good.
Sorry. Oh shoot. Sorry.
Sort
Like,
of-
let me just here.
no, Nadia's already like picking things up and just getting them out of the line of fire.
Yeah. Cool.
How did
So
it go?
great. Yeah, it was good. It's always good to go to talk to people. It's fine.
You okay?
Yeah, great.
You don't seem okay.
I'm great. I got beers, so
Yeah, really, just double fisting those beers without eating anything, huh? So it all went real good.
Yep, great, super good.
Uh-huh.
So, have you discovered anything new, or Like,
Not new. We're just trying to piece together all the timelines between my notes and Kay's notes and kind of making a preliminary list of what we do not want to tell Casper.
Yeah.
oh yeah, good call. Yeah.
Just in case it ends up seeming bad, we can already kind of know what we don't want to tell.
Yeah, people
Probably
can be
okay.
pretty weird about some stuff. They're not ready to hear it, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like this is exactly what Cedric looks like right now, too.
Yeah.
Like Peter, just like, you know? Like, okay.
Sorry, I just got a lot on my mind. Just stuff.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
church
I mean,
church stuff. Don't worry about
Lots
it.
happened.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I think Kay got him a book about reconnecting with his faith.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? You guys are doing your thing here. I'm gonna go read my book.
I was thinking of going out to that park for a little while. If
The
you
one where we
wanted
cuddle
to,
the fireflies?
yeah. If you wanted
Let's
to,
do it. Yeah, I don't feel like
do
reading
that.
right now. Let's do it. Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
You're just walking out with your 2 beers?
I was gonna say,
like
Leon's
like
like,
it's Norland?
could you leave those in my
Yeah.
box?
I don't think those can
Please don't walk
That's
away with my
fine.
glasses.
He's like, just
lunch first. Maybe
chugs
you didn't eat lunch, did you?
both of them.
Constitution or fortitude save.
21.
Okay, he chugs them
Cool.
and slams the steins down on the counter.
This time he rolls well. This is the good roll for the
It's
day.
important.
This is important.
This is
Yeah,
important.
this is the important
Oh,
role.
also,
Come
it's
on.
technically a poison, so you get the dwarven thing to it. But anyway.
23.
Okay. Which park
Great.
are you going to? The Market District Park, the Government District Park, or the Temple District Park?
I'm thinking not the Temple District Park.
Yeah.
So maybe the market
Probably.
one.
Okay. So the market one. So
Yeah.
as a reminder, that one is. I mean, it's a greenway.
Is it like full of market at the moment?
I mean, yeah. There's like a lot of like wagons and stalls and things. There's not like benches
Okay.
per se, but like there's stuff to look at if you wanted to like walk around.
Because my thought was I wanted to spend some time with the bird
Oh, okay.
out in an open space. So maybe that's not the right one.
If that's the case, the government district park it's got some trees on it, but it's obviously like a sort of like a manicured park. And then as Kay mentioned, there's a park-ish greenway area in the entertainment district, which is kind of like a sports pitch. So that's like a more open grassy area.
Yeah. Probably not in use right now.
You don't know.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't care. I'd be like,
What
because probably
sports?
I'd be like, walk over and be like, oh, there's people using this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the government one, it's not too far away.
What
The
sports? what?
Tenebrians seem like a cricket.
I was just gonna say cricket is probably the thing.
Yep.
Not to really, really hammer
I could
home
see them
the
playing
terrible
croquet though.
Croquet.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah.
Some badminton.
Oh.
Hey, badminton can get intense, man.
So when I was
yeah.
in high school,
Throw no shade.
when the seniors would play croquet on the senior green, and that was
Nice.
like a thing.
Nice.
What?
I went to a
Did
high
love
school called
croquet.
Kingswood, Oxford, so I'll let you make your own judgments and opinions.
Okay. I was picturing like a public high school in Texas, and that was absolutely like most of my classmates would
Yeah.
not even know what croquet was.
Yeah, it was a prep
The-
school in Connecticut.
Got it.
Yeah. The senior green at my high school in North Carolina was a picnic table that you could smoke at.
Yeah, I was like, there was a courtyard, but it stayed locked up. We never got to use it.
We had a
Anyway, I vote for croquet.
Qui-Gon has suggested bocce ball, which is also a good
Ooh,
choice.
Yeah.
Although that
yeah.
uses
We also played that,
sand,
yeah.
I think, instead of grass. Maybe it uses grass. I thought the pitches were like
You can
little...
do
There's
both.
something
You can do it on grass.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, lawn darts. Feel like this might be like the right vibe.
That
Shuffleboard.
competitive
Lawn darts.
spectator lawn darts.
Yeah.
The really fancy events, they bust out the polo.
Ooh, polo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a ton of horses here in New Seychester, but yeah.
Mm-mm.
They're
It's okay.
expensive to ship.
Yeah.
We haven't domesticated any local animals. They're not riding ostriches for
I was
polo.
gonna say, we can
Do
get
camels.
into the differences between, like, you know, horses and zebra, or, like, other weird, like, dichotomies of domestication. But,
Mm-hmm.
Peter's like, yes, I want to talk about domesticated farm animals.
Anything to not process my trauma.
Okay, so where you're going to the entertainment district one? Is that?
Do we want to, or just
Government
we're closer to the government one? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you head to the government district. Again, it's like a nice sort of like manicured greenway, so there's some trees. They're still kind of little because, again, this isn't that old a place, but, you know, it's like a 2 lines of trees with some benches dealio. There's a very tiny fountain and some flower beds.
All right. And my thought was, I prepped for the day a spell called Animal Trick, which I can use to teach my animal companion a trick. And I know full well what Qui-Gon Mars has already left for us, so this is going to get extra
Amazing.
spicy.
Also, that's a super cool spell because it means you don't have to spend as much time on the.
Yeah, this is basically, I have some downtime. I can teach my bird friend a trick.
Awesome.
I'm not sure what trick.
The wild magic. Nice.
So basically, I would say to Cedric, like, I want to try to teach her a trick.
Oh, we've done that one.
Hey.
Audience, are we okay with a repeat magic, wild magic, or do we want something new?
This is another feather beard.
New magic.
New magic? Oh, I want the audience to pick. Audience, are we using wild magic we've already used, or we're using a new one?
Dark gauntlet.
Ew. Okay, we'll roll again.
All right.
Oh, it's gone forever. Hold on.
I heard that leave the desk.
Bing, 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 bing,
The
bing.
wildest of magic. Okay, is that different? Eventually we will run out of new options,
yeah.
but
We're running low.
there's
that one's
plenty
also-
of.
that one's not applicable. So
Is this a 20 list or is it a 100 list?
it's 100.
Oh, okay. We
We
got a ways to go then.
oh my god, what? I'm rolling garbage right
Pretty
now.
sure there's some alt wild magic tables we can roll on.
Or I can make
some,
one
some
up.
homebrew.
Woo. I
It's
mean,
gonna
this
be
one,
fireball.
it says you can, so I don't know if it's like super useful. For the next minute, you can teleport up to 20 feet as a bonus action on each of your turns. But we don't have bonus actions, so you can do it as a free action. Because
All right.
Why
Dope.
not? But you're not in combat, so it doesn't matter anyway.
All right. So I'm trying to decide what trick. Cedric, do you have any ideas?
Like maybe like dropping stuff on, like
I wonder
like
if she could
catching?
like catch something. Yeah.
catching. Yeah.
All
like-
right. So yeah. So basically, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, it's any of the ones listed in the animal companion sidebar.
Audience says, teach it to dab.
Teach it to dab.
a
It's
bird
got
dabs
wings,
and
yeah.
just like falls out of the sky.
It can do it while it's perched.
Oh, I'm in the wrong book. Sorry, there was more homework involved in this. Sidebar.
feel like as part of this, there's a lot of like treat feeding involved, and I feel like this is just
Absolutely.
like Nadia's like trying to get stuff set up, and Cedric's just like feeding treats to the birds. It's just
Oh no.
Amazing.
yeah, you want some more raw meat? Ah.
You don't even believe in a god. Life is so easy for you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're so cute, Nadia. Have you named this thing yet?
Put her on the spot.
I think you should name it Fluffy or Razor Talon or like Sky Shriek.
He passed his fortitude save.
Or like I don't know.
Okay.
Sky
So,
Terror.
what am I don't understand what I'm looking at here. Sorry. This was more than I expected.
That's okay. We're getting close to the end of the night, so while
Yeah, we can figure that out
while you
later.
two are
We can
in
do that at the top of the
that
next one.
park, could you give me perception checks? And yes, you can decide at the top of the next one
Right.
what you've been working on teaching her.
12. I'm paying so much attention.
12,
15.
15.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm laying on my back looking around.
Right, yeah. So Nautia is fairly focused on the bird, but Cedric, like, once they actually start training and you can't just, like, keep feeding the bird treats, you're just sort of watching what they're doing, and you notice that there is a bit of... I don't know if commotion's the right word, but there is, like, a group of people gathering, and there is, like, some, like... heightened level of conversation happening, sort of like within the government district. And that is where we will leave it for the moment. You can find out what that's about next time.
Riot.
Thank you so much for everyone who hung out. We appreciated the raiders and our regulars. Thank you for spending your channel points on things. We like having you around. Next up on the docket, next Sunday, you should come hang out. It won't be a live game, but I will be broadcasting the recording of the first of probably a two-shot with the RP Geeks. So they played sailors on the ship that belonged to Stomanel Laufshield's father, as we go back in time to see an adventure that they played through with me. So please come next Sunday to watch that broadcast. It's a really good time. The RP Geeks are wonderful. We love them. So come for that. The next Sunday is April 3rd. That'll be another Nature Chat, our variety talk show thing where we talk about the game, talk more science that was covered in the game, and also I share GM tips and we talk about different cool ways to incorporate science into the game, like when I made the Darkodile stat block and stuff like that. And then the next time you can see us here for Arda will be Sunday, April 10th. In the meantime, you know, on Thursdays you can catch somebody here playing video games. Has been me with my pet dinosaurs. Maybe will be Nancy in the near future with what game? I don't know.
Tomb Raider, Horizon, something.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe Horizon, but I know shit about Utah, so I'll be like, this is some nice grass.
She's going to talk about...
Fireflies.
Well, you said that it starts in the jungle, right? So she wants to talk
I
about
did,
jungle
and that
plants.
was a tutorial area. And I'm like,
Ah.
YOLO, you're back in Utah. But I'm supposed to wander to California, so maybe there'll be some palm trees that I can talk about.
It's quite a walk.
Wonderful. That is quite a walk.
I can
Yikes.
tame a machine and like run across. So
Sweet.
But yeah, it'll be good. We'll talk about how machines are supposed to be terraforming the Earth back into a sustainable ecosystem. We can talk about some of that.
Oh, nice.
So
So that's what's happening on Thursdays. You can come hang out with somebody while we play video games. I told you what's coming up on the upcoming Sundays. You also know that you can hang out with us in the Discord when we're not doing those things. So yeah, that's all I've got. Anybody else got something important to say? Okay, then we are going to get out of here for this evening. Thank you so much for hanging out during this RP heavy session. I like these. It's interesting to see conversations between the characters and between the characters
Poor
and
Cedric!
NPCs.
Oh,
Poor Cedric. This job is hard sometimes. Yeah, we're going to get out of here, but we will see you in a few weeks. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.